And well, it's going to be incredible. Not only is Pride on the line, there's a good few t-shirts and hoodies going to be swapped back and forwards depending on who wins. And of course, now I get to speak to PixelTwitch. How you doing, buddy?
I am really good, thanks. I was meant to be doing this a couple of weeks ago, which unfortunately had to get cancelled, but we are finally here. And I just want to see who's going to come out on top. We know that the developers get to play it every single day, but you'd assume so do the publishers. So I've got a feeling that we're going to be in for some funny matches at the very least.
Yeah, I don't feel it's going to be to the same caliber of, you know, your PKDs and, you know, your 6-6s and all of these kind of players up there. But, you know, I think they'll give it a good run, and I think they'll give us a good show. So, guys, get hyped in chat. I know you're all excited for this one, but it's not just me and Pixel here. Of course, we're joined by the whole gang, and it is going to be Shu and Miss Murder joining us from the respective teams. But let's go over to the beautiful lady first. Miss Murder, why don't you introduce yourself, say what you do? I'm sure the community knows you by now, but why don't you take us through, you know, who you are and introduce the lineup Nexon is actually fielding here.
Hello, Miss Murder here. I am Dirty Bomb's Nexon community manager. I think you all know me from the live streams. And on Team Nexon, we have Chefs, who does just a little bit of everything. He's the senior brand manager. We have GM Radroto, who is in CS. We have Psychosis, who you met yesterday if you watched our stream. His mohawk is epic. We have Jumbles, who is in QA, and Critilix, who is a producer. And I think Splash Damage has their big boy pants on today, so...
Well, I think they're going to have to. You guys have fielded pretty much the superstar lineup coming out there. I think we're going to see some big things coming out from Nexon, but I guess I have to introduce this man. It hurts me to do it, but Shu, how you doing, pal? Are you ready for this?
It.
Are you ready for this, buddy?
I am so ready. I was ready like 20 minutes ago. That's how ready I am.
Wow, that's impressive. That's
pretty
really
ready.
quite big in the game. Shu, why don't you take us through your lineup then? How do you think you're going to be able to take on Miss Murder? Well, not Miss Murder specifically, but her gang with her this evening.
Well, you know, it's quite nice actually, because I looked through their lineup, and it seemed that the charity shop didn't really have that many good players left at the end of the day. So
hey, I didn't say flame right now.
Quite good.
Come on.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how good we do. There isn't any mercs with mohawks currently in the game, and there's probably a reason for that. So for Psychosis, we're not really too scared either currently.
Wow.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be all right. I just said to Chefs in chat as well that currently I have planned to have fish and chips tonight. So if he doesn't provide adequate salt, then I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed.
See, now, Shu, you said you were preparing 20 minutes ago. I think you just wrote down these little flame notes. And that's all your prep done.
These are completely off the top of my head. I'm on the ball tonight. Seriously, give me anything and I will be able to tear it down.
I've never seen you so hyped.
I'm ready. Go.
All right. Why don't you introduce your lineup then? Who has Splash Damage dug out to kind of play this one?
Well, we've actually gone for a B team lineup today because we want to give Nexon a bit of a chance. That being said, we've got the Beast Cog, aka B Cog, coming in. He is one of our artists who is, you know, a bit of a dude, comes on stream quite a lot, cracking sense of humor, even better aim, and yeah, he's going to be heading out the charge for us. Next in line, we have Calida, and he is also an artist here. He was on the stream on Monday with the B Cog artist takeover, which was pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm looking forward to get him in there. He is Bulgarian, so he is dangerous. So keep an eye out for him. Next in the lineup, we have, of course, D Dave, aka Dux. Now he's the man to watch. He is obviously the, as you all know, the D Dust 2 creator. He knows what he's been doing. He's been around for absolute years, so he is ready to smash Nexon and show them what it means to be an epic map maker. And coming towards the end of our lineup, we have Fluffy Gimp, the Fluffy Gimp. He is ready to go. He has been practicing all day. He specifically waxed his chest to make sure he was more streamlined for this match. So you know he is, you know, definitely going to be on the ball, ready to take everyone down. And then, of course, you've got the Shu.
And you don't have any taglines? You are just the Shu?
Well, as my hoodie says, danger doesn't always come in pairs. So you need to be careful, because Shu is there, and he will kick your butt.
That is the lamest thing.
Wow, that is awful. I really want people to know the story of how you got your name, but we'll save that for another day. But of course, you guys at home who are watching this stream right now, you've just kind of, you know, heard a little bit of something about both of these lineups, who they are, and what this means to them. Guys, get involved on Twitter using the hashtag PlayDirty. Obviously, just spam it up in chat. We love spam here. You know, the PJ Salts went down like a treat. So do make sure you get on Twitter, hashtag #PlayDirty. It'll basically give you a chance of winning some goodies, so do get involved. But Pixel, now you've heard both lineups. What are your thoughts here? What are your predictions?
Well, I've actually seen the guys over at Nexon play this for a long time now. We've seen Critalix and Red Rodo and Chefs playing back from the very, very close beta like a year ago, where people like Shu are pretty new to the game. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to play out, but I don't know. I have to be honest, I think SD have got a slight advantage, but I wouldn't take it away from Critalix or Chefs at all. So,
see, and I've got to say, while these two are in the chat, I know both of these teams are actually nervous. I've been speaking a little bit to Bcog here and there. He has been absolutely, worried to the maximum about how well he'll perform. Will people judge him? And of course, we here in Twitch chat will judge you thoroughly, Bcog. But before we get this one started, any final closing words, Miss Murder? You've heard what Shu had to say. He's clearly been working on his smack talk. Is there any final closing statements you want to just, really drive home?
Yeah, I just want to say that he seems to be a lot of bark and no bite, so hopefully he can put his money where his mouth is.
I'm going to bite you so hard, you have no idea.
Oh my god.
This has gone beyond PG-13. We need to keep Shu away. He's getting too rowdy right now. We need to get these guys into the server. But Shu, any final closing words outside of biting opponents?
Well, not really. I feel like I've kind of made my points of how bad and terrible I feel that Nexon are at playing Dirty Bomb, which is generally a bit of a disappointment, but, skill doesn't grow on trees, and unfortunately they've been trying to do that because they've got an orange grove in their garden.
Oh my god.
Wow. Do you know what? These insults are even beyond my comprehension. However, I believe the trash talk needs to be put aside, and we now need to see what they've really got to bring to the front here. As the teams are getting themselves ready, they'll be jumping into the server very soon. So thank you very much, Shu and Miss Murder, for joining us for the little pre-show talk down. And Pixel, your thoughts coming into this. We're going to know the map pretty soon. I think the teams are in the server. Why don't you take us into what you think we're going to see here?
Well, it looks like we're going to be playing on Whitechapel first. We haven't actually got this confirmed yet, but if that is the case, I'm expecting with SD on a attack first to really be coming out with some new strats. We need to remember that the developers and the publishers quite often have to play this game copious amounts of hours, except they do it in a very internal way. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few differences in the meta internally to what we actually see out in the public that we may be able to see today. So it's going to make it quite difficult to predict until we actually see the first few rounds.
Well, I think the players are ready. We are now seconds away from getting this started. Guys at home, once again, use that hashtag #PlayDirty on Twitter. Get involved. Get your predictions through who you think is going to stand out. Who's going to be that top fragger making the plays? Will there be a bunga nade here or there? Or is this one going to be all about splash damage, wrecking Nexon? Or is it Nexon's turn to shine? This is your chance to get involved and win some goodies off the back of it. But I think teams are locked in. It's time to go, Pixel. Are you excited?
I'm excited. I want to see what this first attack wave does. I'm actually going to be following through Shu, who is going to be one of the engineers on the SD team. They are actually running with 2 engineers. This is something that we don't see very often on Whitechapel. So I'm wondering if they've actually got a strategy which is going to have both of them around the EV at once. But no, it is Shu which goes straight for the EV and is getting that repair on. And let's see if Nexon can take him down.
To be fair, he's doing pretty darn well. No one's really challenging, but Calidor will be the first to open this one up. Psychosis does go down, and Calidor's on a bit of a spree. He's not stopping, and Bcog's even there to back him up. This is looking like a phenomenal start coming out for splash damage.
Jumble's got a little bit greedy there, tried to run in through a landmine right at Shu's feet. Shu manages to get the kill. They are walking this EV up the hill towards the first corner now. They're doing it at quite a good rate. Nexon seems to be getting stuck on the bridge entrance, so yeah, it looks like Psychosis takes out Bcog. Can he take out Fluffy Gimp as well? No, Jumble's take out Fluffy Gimp, but that's a couple of members of SD down. And the EV just got hit by a nurse strike. Still a little bit of heal on that though.
Yeah, it's still got a little bit of life in it. And just kind of looking at the classes they're playing, we are going to be seeing Bcog and Fluffy Gimp hitting up the medic play there, trying to keep the team alive, trying to keep this EV moving. And they have a good cluster of forces here, looking to maybe take that further, but Chef says no. 2 kills coming in, Shu goes down, and Dave. And it looks like, well, actually, splash damage, they're getting kind of wrecked here.
Yeah, the EV is down. It's not in the easiest place to get the repair because you can have Nexon actually go up onto that little bridge area and start shooting them in the back as they're getting the repair on. But that said, all the Nexon members are down and SD are going to get this repaired fairly easily.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but Jumbles again with those mines coming into practice. You saw Proxy then just running in and out, dropping him at the back of the EV, and this is just unbelievable stuff. I love watching this. But so far, what do we make of the play we're seeing? Let's just take overview here, as we are seeing a couple of sniper kills come into place. Is this keeping up with the meta? Are we seeing a good performance coming out from Nexon or splash damage? What's your overview?
Well, honestly, I'm actually really surprised at the amount of kills which are coming out for both teams. This is not something that you would normally see when you're watching a competitive game, like when it's proper teams playing. But yeah, they just seem to be going for kills, 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 and still managing to get that EV repaired and moved in the process as well. Normally you'd expect them to try and set up positions, but right now it's almost like deathmatch with objective.
Well, we'll see if that deathmatch works out in favour to either of his teams, because Jumbles again is going pretty hammer right now. That proxy work has been on point. Does manage to take down the engineer, and we do have the backup coming. Beagle just trying to run Rampage, but kills don't equate necessarily to the objectives getting done, and it seems splash damage kind of slowing down, as you said then, just off the back of not really focusing on the objective itself. Could be an issue down the line, but regardless, looking on the Nexon side of things, is anyone standing out to you so far?
Crytalix is doing really well, but actually it's more on the SD side. We have actually seen Shu at the top of the scoreboard right now. He has switched out to Fragger.
I don't even want to say it, man.
I know, I wasn't expecting it at all. I was expecting Shu to be one of the bottom players, but he's actually proving that he's got a little bit more skill than what maybe I give him credit for. But he's just getting a bit of ammo now while the rest of SD start moving. It's Fluffy Gimp on the EV on his own, and he's made amazing progress before getting totally run over by Rad Roda's airstrike. And the EV is down. Again, not in a great position, but I've got a feeling that SD are going to be able to do this. Dave is actually getting the repair on right now.
Yeah, Dave being the objective man at the moment, and why not? He's got the support of Shu there, and Shu, I almost want to take a moment to watch Shu, just to really embody and embrace what he really is, because he was the one talking so wildly at the start of this, and he's getting pressured from the right side by the car. Does actually get the EV up and running somehow. I'm surprised the Nexon are letting them get away with this much. But Jumbles, again, I've got to say, Jumbles has been my MVP coming out from the Nexon side. He's been doing so much work for them, just behind the scenes as proxy. And this EV is getting a little slow here. Do you think Splash Damage just needs to keep kind of piling bodies on the EV, once again start going for those frags?
Fluffy Gimp seems to be trying to do that, to be fair. He is running in. He's died a good few times doing it, but he's also made some great progress while doing it as well. I did like the new meta that we are seeing right now, as in...
Peacock just got battered as well.
Oh!
That's embarrassing. Like, you know, if you're going to lose, you might as well take some down with the bat, you know what I mean?
Oh, completely. Shu is like just totally changing the Fragger meta. We've seen him repairing the EV, we've seen him picking up his teammates, and we've seen him nading his teammates as well. Let's see if he can actually just run in there. He can shoot as well. Respect to the guy.
I'm kind of impressed so far, I've got to say. And actually, Nexon are kind of finding their footing here.
Yes.
Great little crossfire setup. They're not in a bad position at all, and it is slowing down splash damage. Maybe all that trash talk preparation wasn't exactly what they needed from Shu. I'm going to start blaming him soon, because really, Nexon in this position, 2-3 more minutes, it's not a bad time to be having on this first stage, or maybe second, I guess you could call it. But do you think this is sustainable? Because I think we're going to see Dave trying to really challenge up on that kind of construction area. Jumbles and Psychosis were up there, and Dave's not in a bad spot here.
Well, right now, as long as Nexon can keep it here for another 20-30
hold
seconds.
On. Dave's going on the back. Look at this. He's got two players for him. He's on the MG. He's mowing them down. Jumbles is down and out. And this guy, he's just loving being that BM player. Using MGs in competitive games, that's just cold-hearted. But regardless, let's be real here. That EV's not really moving.
No, and if they can actually keep Psychosis alive right now, they're going to have another airstrike as soon as that's repaired. And that repair is coming out right now. Dave is actually on it. Is Psychosis going to try and preemptively airstrike? Is he going to throw an airstrike at all? No, he goes down at the last second, and that, my friends, could be an issue. But Red Rodo switched out.
That was a 3-man coming in that just cleaned up. The only person left alive is Caladan. He's right next to the EV. He's trying to repair it, but in the back, Chefs is there. And again, this EV is getting held. They keep making mistakes, splash damage. I think the nerves are kicking in.
Yeah, providing that Nexon can keep the two Skyhammers alive now, they could be rotating those airstrikes indefinitely, providing that SD aren't able to repair constantly. So Nexon are actually in a really good position here. They've actually holding really well, and SD just really need to commit to an attack, or maybe we need to see Dave try a little bit more flanking around the back onto that MG, because that seemed to really work out for a second.
And I kind of like this. Nexon getting quite confident, pushing up quite aggressively here. They need to be careful. They're on quite the long spawn, actually. Well, we're going to see at least Skyhammer on a 3
Jumbles with the
Jumbles
bats.
again. This guy, he's playing pure BM, and I kind of like it.
That said, only Chefs is actually up for Nexon right now. Trying to take on Shu as a fragger. Decides that he's going to try and duck around this EV.
Hey, he's bought a bit of time. Dave did finally come around that car park side. He should be getting the repair on as we speak, and I don't think Nexon can get there. The airstrikes come in, but they're a little early. They've just
that's perfect!
The second. It's perfect. It finally stops it. You can see again, Beacog's trying to get this running. Canada's there. Fluffy Gimp's even trying to chime in with his players, but it's going to take some time. And Nexon, well, they're back up and running. They could once again take this EV down.
They've actually pulled out another Skyhammer in the mix, so that's going to be 3 Skyhammers on the Nexon side. All they need is one really well-placed airstrike. Here it comes.
I don't know if it's on time. Oh my god, no, it only got half of it. It wasn't placed perfectly, and it should be able to be escorted in. Beacog with the hero play, just going to dive himself in there, get it into position, and now it's time to look towards that final stage. But Nexon cleaning up well here, and I think they gained a lot of time, but they could be caught out by these respawns.
Yeah, but it does seem like Jumbles and a couple of the other Nexon players are taking advantage of that extra time that they've got to actually back off towards the objective, which is a very smart move. So many new teams decide to try and fight that spawn wave and try and keep them in spawn, but as soon as you get wiped, you're on a long spawn and they're going to get that first objective. Where now Nexon are looking like they're in an okay position. They've still got a couple of players down that have just come up right now.
Wait, Fluffy Kim's making a bit of a run at this. He's gone pretty far without being spotted. He's making an objective run.
Oh my god.
No one's seen this. It's going to be... Oh, they finally noticed. But he's done a great bit of play there. He's going to just put it on the objective. He's pushed in that position. And Nexon could be punished for this. It's going to give Splash Damage a chance here.
Oh yeah, completely. One of the players is actually going to return that objective. I kind of think they returned it at the wrong time. You waited a few more seconds. You would actually be able to return it once they've already gone past the objective, forcing them to walk back, and it's one of those really frustrating things to do, which can put people on tilt eventually once it happens a few times. That said, we are seeing Shu go for the run right now as a Vasily.
I'm not sure who he thinks he is, but oh no, Fluffy
it's working
with the
for
team
him.
kill. It is. It's going to be Beacog and Shu actually cleaning up, and they've cleaned up pretty well. One man left standing, it's Riddle, and he's going to be trying to do something, but the support was there, and Beacog to the rescue again. I hate to say it, but Beacog's doing well.
I haven't actually checked out Beacog right now.
Should we give him a watch?
Yeah, let's go give him a watch.
Let's go for the perspective of Beacog. Let's see how his world exists, but he's down to his pistol. I don't think he achieved much here, surely.
I think he's down to his knife now. I think he's probably got no ammo whatsoever. He's reloading that pistol. Is he going to be able to get some super play on? He sees Chefs. He takes him down with a pistol. Is he going to go for the gib? No, he decides to back off and he's just going to dodge around this red bus forever.
He's going
for the knife.
Oh, and he gets it. I love it. I absolutely love this. Beacog showing what he's made of here. He's buying time, but still, Splash Damage need to start looking at the objective. There's 5 minutes left here. They need to start going for this, and Beacog, he got a little too greedy then with the double knife.
Almost. I honestly think he was completely out of ammo. I think that's a side effect of they've only actually got 1 field ops on the SD team, and I don't believe that they've had that field ops all of the time, so maybe they do need to start taking one of those ammo mercs if they want to try and get a little hold up here for more than a couple of spawn waves.
And just remember, guys, if you are just tuning in, this is the show match between Splash Damage and Nexon, the publishers and the developers, going head-to-head in a best of 5. And well, this is going to be a grudge match and a half. But let's kind of look at the time here. What sort of time would they be wanting to set at this sort of point? Because they're actually struggling on this final stage for Splash Damage. What do you think they need now to complete this?
They really need to just do one really strong push. I would actually go up towards the constructible bridge, get that repaired, maybe go for a sniper pick onto one of the NX guys, or maybe throw an airstrike behind the red bus and actually hope that you're going to get a couple of kills off that. But right now they're just all funneling into one route and just getting completely gunned down by Nexon. So a split would definitely be in their favour right now.
And 4 minutes left. Do you think there's a chance of a full hold here at the final stage, possibly?
Well, they've already got one of the objectives done, so I think it's kind of likely that they will be able to pull out the other. But with 4 minutes left, it's definitely not guaranteed. This is by no means an excellent time, and I do think that Nexon are going to have a really good opportunity to beat this when they're on the attack in the second half.
And to be fair, at the start of the day, we were saying, you know what, I think Splash Damage should have this. You know, they play a lot, they've got some good players, but to be fair, Nexon have turned up, and, you know, they may not have been on point with their trash talk at the start of the day, but their aim seems to be a little bit crisper, and splash damage, tails between the legs, running back to spawn. It's not looking good for them with 3 minutes. I've got to say, I don't see them cleaning this up all that soon. I think they look a little bit at wit's end.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like that, but they are going for a split now, it seems. It looks like they've got a couple of people in the cubby, one in the main entrance, and 2 going around the long way. That said, that it's gone down to Fluffy Gimp on the long way, and he's all on his own while carrying the objective. Oh no, Bcog is there with him, but this way is getting completely closed down now, so yeah, they really just need to get that first pick and actually make a play off that, and right now they seem to be struggling.
Oh, but look at Fluffy Gimp. He's going for a little bit of a ninja play. They've drawn him to the left. He's pushing on the right. He's got one man finally spawning out. He goes for the melee. He gets it, but finally gets caught in the heels by Radarodo. But they're trying to make some big plays here. And Fluffy Gimp, he's not looking too bad when he's actually pulling this off. But sadly, we need some, as you said, more opening picks, more bigger plays coming out from splash damage. Because really, Nexon are holding them back here. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left.
Shu just got a massive pick onto Radarodo.
Okay, so maybe that's the opening. You were saying they needed that start. Do you think they could build from this?
Oh, Shu just killed DE Dave as he ran past his scope. So, Shu did manage to get another player down as well. He's got 3 players down. He got 3 snipes in a row. So, a lot of them players are down. They are going for the push in now. Fluffy Gimp is still holding that objective. He really needs to put that down and get some shots off onto his enemies. Bcog going for the revive. Going to take out Jumbles, Chefs, and no, Radarodo just cleaning up right there. That was a decent push, and he still got a little bit of momentum off that.
And let's be real here. Can you imagine Dave's face when Shu just, you know, planted that bullet between his eyes? I can imagine there's a little bit of anger in the office. I almost wish you could see what was going on here. But Shu is back on the facility. He's gonna be trying to land these shots. He's hitting a couple of bodies. He's no chicken and waffles right now. He's kind of I don't know. It's a little hit and miss. He ain't. He's not quite there. They're trying though. They are trying, and they're not doing too badly. We've got Chef still locking it down though. That objective firmly to hand. Shu going to try and make a little bit of a play, but really he's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere and gets put on a good old 10-second respawn.
Right now, I've noticed that SD have started going a little bit on tilt. Oh, there's a massive airstrike coming in onto the right. They might be able to get a couple of the players. That's just the one that was so unlucky for Calada. I thought it was going to be much more, but what I was going to say is they keep getting caught out on odd spawns. They're grouped up now, so maybe they can actually push in as one. I think they're waiting for the Shu to get that pick, but there's only 50 seconds on the clock. It's going to take them 20 seconds to run to the objective, so they're really playing on borrowed time right now.
And you need to just kind of point out exactly when that last moment is. How long do you think it's going to take them to run this from start to end? Dave's got it right now in hand. Is there a chance of 40 seconds remaining?
Yes, there's plenty of chance. I think it takes around 22 seconds with a medium Merc running, so not a lot of chance, but a slight one.
It's becoming slighter as now only 28 seconds. All that trash talk is kind of gone to nothing. It looks like they're going to be full health at that final stage. They got one of them secured. The final push needs to come in now. Dave's making a run for it, but 18 seconds left. Bcog leading the charge, and I don't think they can do this. Nexon have locked down that final stage, and that is going to put splash damage on tilt. There's nothing to be said about this. I can imagine they're furious. Oh my god, that just sums it up. Dave gets revenge on Shu and just says, guys, I'm done, I'm out. Dear lord, that was not a great way to end that one off.
Now, honestly, I did not expect SD to not complete the map. That has surprised me, to be honest. And if we actually look at the kill feed right now, we're actually seeing Nexon outweighing splash damage completely on kills.
Substantially, yeah.
Radarodo, 29. We've got Chefs on 22. And I didn't expect that. Chefs going on a 2.0 kill death ratio.
To be fair, I did hear there was a little bit of a story of Chef's rage that was previously noted. So clearly he's been doing some work. You know, he's been looking over his VODs and going, okay, I need to improve my aim here. I need to not throw my mouse here, and just kind of these small things that really help him out. But Sawbones coming up big, it seems. To be fair, we don't normally see Sawbones being one of the more, let's say, frag-heavy classes. It's more supportive. Do you think the Nexon have come out and just been like, all right, guys, let's get him on tilt. Let's get him, you know, really on the back foot. Do you think that's the kind of mentality here?
I think kind of, but what I really do think's happened is I think they put Nexon Chefs onto Sawbones because he wasn't playing that well. And then Nexon Chefs realized he wasn't playing that well, got a lot of practices in, and now he's playing better than almost anybody else on Nexon, and he's still got the Sawbones. But it's working out for them, and I don't know, like, the kills themselves make a big difference, and I think that providing that they keep the engineers on rotation and they make sure that they're keeping that EV repaired, there's a good chance that Nexon might take this.
I can't agree more. I think it's looking more and more likely with Beacog going low to start off with. Psychosis going to pick that up. Dave does at least come in with a little bit of work and keeps the EV health, but it's still up and running. And Chefs gets the revive. Dave trying to do some work, but it doesn't matter. That EV is on the move and splash damage again. What's going on, guys? I'm not liking this. You know, it's EU against NA at heart, and my poor EU heart is bleeding here. Pixel, I think I'm gonna have to kick one of these guys soon and take their place.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do the same, or maybe
honorary, you know, splash damage employees.
I think if this goes down to a 2-1 to Nexon, maybe we're gonna have to pull in the big guns and get a teammate to play. But
yep.
The EV has been taken down. SD are failing to actually kill the engineer when he's actually getting the repair on, so they really need to start working on that, because Jumbles is just staying with the EV at most of the times. He's going to go for a couple of kills. He's going to be able to get them. He manages to get the bat onto Beacog, and he gets the bat onto Fluffy Gimp.
Oh my god. This is embarrassing. Splash damage. I think they're going to have to use like the bat, you know, the bat symbol up in the air with just Tumik's name to call him in, because they need the big guns here, because they are getting ripped left, right, and center. The bats are coming out. Finally, a nade comes into place, but it doesn't matter. That EV is up and running, and splash damage. Well, this is not a good show, is it?
Not at all right now. Then again, that said, they have just took down the EV once again. They just really need to find themselves getting into a decent position, because like Beacog right now is about to die, I think, and if he dies, he's going to be taken down onto a long spawn compared to the rest of his team, and for the next fight, it's going to be a 4 versus 5.
And you know, I said to Beacog, for a couple of, you know, those in-game coins, you know, the little bit of tokens, I'd have given him, you know, the tips and tricks of the game, and I'm sure, you know, I gave him your YouTube videos. I said, look, Beacog, you need to research this. You need to get into this game, buddy, because right now you are slacking. Well, we're seeing that more and more. I don't think I've seen him get a kill this half. Beacog came out, you know, pretty confident at the start. You know, he was talking pretty big. Same with Shu, and, well, I think he's choking at the moment. I'm kind of embarrassed.
This EV is actually making some amazing progress right now.
It's not stopping. Look at this, Jumbles again. He's just right amongst the wolves. Psychosis has got the back of him. And these guys just aren't going down. Shu finally makes a bit of a dent. But to what end? The EV's still there. Nexon are back up and running. And well, let's remember, you know, Nexon did make a good hold here. They were able to really keep that EV stationary for quite some time. Maybe get a good couple, you know, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. But when Jumbles is doing this sort of play, there is no stopping this. What a brilliant play going out from Jumbles. And then Radrodo is there, picks him up, and keeps running. He doesn't actually get the revive in the end. But look at this. Look at this play. Oh my god, Shu. Just uninstall right now. It's time.
It's hilarious, really, because we're actually seeing the engineers on Nexon, and even the Sobons not even bothered with the weapons. They're not even going to shoot. The EV still got some repair on it. We're just going to walk with it. They're running with the bats right now, just jumping up and down next to the EV, and they are going to actually complete this second objective in a much, much quicker time than what we saw SD do it. And right now, SD... it's not looking good for these guys at all. Shu's actually going up onto the mounted MG nest. Probably going to get a shot in the back. He's going to get caught out of position.
Round the back, though. Calendar's in a good position. He could do something here. He waited out on the spawn. That was pretty smart play, especially for an artist. He only gets one, sadly, and he's now left on a little bit of a scrap of health and does get taken down. Nexon, you know what? I think it was all mind games. You know, those previous games where they may have faced together and Nexon got pretty trashed? I reckon they were saying, wait until the finals, you know, wait till the show match. And then we turn up and, well, they have. They've even got the objective right now. They're going to set a time that, well, is pretty damn impressive.
I can't believe this, but Beacog's actually topping the score for the SD guys.
And he was getting absolutely trounced. That's saying something, dear lord. But still, looking on the other side here, Jumbles, Radrodo, all these guys are turning the hell up. Shu's trying to make a play again. He's trying to do something. He seems like the one-man army, though. Well, Beacog finds his footing, and the crossfire's finally sunk in. But a 10-minute hold here on the final stage?
It's not looking likely. Just one amazingly placed airstrike, a couple of nades, or one really strong push directly into SD right now, and I think SD could crumble.
I think it's it could be a problem. I can imagine the tilt is real. I think I kind of want to hear what's going on there, because Calendar is actually going to town with Dave. They're going to be creating a nice little crossfire. But then again, 10 minutes is such a long time. And guys at home, if you've been getting your predictions through to us and you said, you know what, Splash Damage has got this, you might want to get on Twitter right now, #DirtyBomb, and switch that one over towards Nexon, because these guys have turned up. Psychosis is going for a run. He just goes right in there, checks it out, has a little look, leaves it to his teammates to clean up, and here they come in force. There's only 2 left standing, Fluffy Gimp and Beacog. They're going to have to pull up a miracle.
Chef's taking out Fluffy Gimp. And this is going to be the first one captured. Or is it? Yes, it is. So close. Dave almost getting the deny there, but too little too late, unfortunately. Khalida does manage to actually clean up the majority of the Nexon forces, and they can go for a second hold, but that was able to be captured with only a couple of minutes of taking the second objective. So SD really need to maybe change some things up, because they've got a long road ahead right now.
It really is quite some time, and Nexon have actually switched things around. It's unbelievable. They're going to be trying a different road of approach, if I can use my words, and they're already picking up the kills from it. And look at this play from Jumbles. He's just going flying in. He's got the bat out, you know, batter up, but didn't get anything. But at the moment, Nexon just seem relentless. They mean business.
Oh, completely, and they're actually all going down. I'm actually surprised at the number of team kills that we've seen so far. I don't believe that the developers are actually testing internally with friendly fire on at the moment. So
yeah, I think we can tell.
Yeah, I think it's catching them all up by surprise. Right now it's a 1 versus 1, Critalix versus Shu. If Critalix can actually get this kill, but then again, Shu is a fragger, and the rest of SD is up there. He needs to go and act fast. Nade comes in, is he going to be able to get it? No. No nade.
But look at that, Psychosis with the double straight off spawn. Fluffy Gimp and Dave are gibbed, and they're down for a good 10 seconds here. So it is down to 3. Shu, Bcog, and Khalida to try and hold this one down. The objective might just start being run, and it's really smart play from Crit, as he has been holding the objective back until they had the advantage. The strike's going to come down. This could be huge. Oh my god, it gets the team kill, but Chefs is there. He's taking on Shu, mano a mano, but finally the backup arrives. But this is turning into a bloodbath. Splash Damage finally getting the kills in, finally get the revives, and kind of weather the storm that Nexon has been bringing.
Yeah, I think Nexon just wasted a little too much time right there. I think if they went in and started pushing around 5 or 6 seconds earlier, they could have actually got this before SD got the respawns, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. Nexon are just lining up for another attack. It looks like they're going to be pushing mainly on the right hand side. That nade is going to be throwing in some nades to try and push SD out of position, and we'll see if they can actually make a move off this.
Alright, that strike's a great way to start. Dave going down is not going to help things out here, and look at them all back into the corner. Splash Damage are being mowed down, and I think this is on Shu, and even Red Roto getting towards Shu. Oh, Khalida, last man standing. He's trying to make a play, but look at this. The objective is going to be put into place, and sadly for Splash Damage, they've just been put in their place. A last-minute play comes out, though. I spoke too soon. Dave and Shu making a bit of a meal of this one, but somehow they're still alive.
Just on it.
Somehow they're saving the day. Dave and his turret.
Triple kill.
Wild. Absolutely awesome play from Dave. Do you know what? He deserves a promotion right now. Splash Damage, it doesn't matter about his yearly performance. It's all about the in-game plays, and he just saved your ass.
That was absolutely hilarious. He just ran in there, threw the turret down, then started swinging at people with his cricket bat, and it seemed to work out for him. Very sloppy, but it worked, and that's all that really matters right now.
I don't understand how him and that turret, it was like a love story. Just, you know, the turret to the rescue at the very last moment, but at the end of the day, Splash Damage, it just feels like they're kind of, you know, putting out fires that keep popping up everywhere else. Rad Roto again finds Dave. Make it a quad kill for Rad Roto coming in. The revives are there, so it's Bcog still standing, and it might just be Bcog up against 3. Here we go. Bcog, can you go big, or do you need to go home right now? He's going to take down Jumbles. The objective is loose. The pistol comes out, and Bcog doing everything possible to slow this down to the 9. But Jumbles is securing, and I think Jumbles might just have enough time, and he does.
What is going on with these teams and the melee kills? There's so much running around with bats and knives. It is crazy. This is not something that you normally see when you're watching a high-level Dirty Bomb, but if it's working for them, it's working for them, and just, wow, look at them scores. Red Road on nearly 50 kills.
You know, I think Olber's going to be in chat just, you know, getting a little nervous. Like, who is this guy coming in, you know, playing pretty well? Red Roto showing that you can break those 50s and actually win a game. Quite impressive. But still, that's map 1. We need to kind of take stock of this, because I didn't expect it going this way, and we've got a best of 5 in front of us. What do you think is going on that Splash Damage side? What do you think is going on over there?
I hate to call people out, but you can't deny the low score of Fluffy Gimp, 7-31. He's one of the founders of Splash Damage as well, so I need to be very careful. As I don't really at all, but I think Fluffy Gimp needs to mainly try switching it up and actually just going completely for revives at this point. He was playing the objective fairly well. He was the guy that was carrying the jugs towards the final objective, so he definitely had his value. Obviously, shooting isn't his value. But overall, Nexon does seem to be a much better team in general. They just seem to be closer when they was doing their attacks. They seem to be communicating better, it seems. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit of first-round nerves for SD. Maybe they'll pull it all together right now and be able to change this up. But they've got it's a big deficit right there. That was a big win for Nexon.
And I just wish I could hear the team comms of Splash Damage right now.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine it? Just the fury, the anger. Because these guys wanted to win. I'm not joking you. Last night I came home from a show, sat down. It was probably like 1 in the morning, maybe about 2 my time. So, you know, in the UK around midnight, 1 a.m. And there's Fluffy Gimp. He's trying to play. He's trying to warm up. He's going keen. And it didn't seem to make a darn bit of difference, sadly. So these guys, they're trying to play to win here. But this sort of play so far, not enough. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Nexon just looked like a better, well-rounded team. They just look like they're playing better, and I think we know our next map. So, predictions coming into this one?
Terminal, this is a map which, especially in competitive, is probably got the most full holds of any other map. So this is more than likely going to be a long one if Nexon are on defense first due to the result that we just saw previously. But that said, it's also a map where one single wipe can completely change the pace. So I think this is one where Splash Damage has probably got the most chance of being able to get that lucky kind of first plant and actually be able to use that momentum to complete. But I don't know, I'm really kind of nervous after seeing what we've just seen. I think that Splash Damage just needs to use the weapons, like the primary weapons, more than the baseball cricket bats, and maybe they'll have a chance. Yes, shoot all the guns.
Okay, so very simple advice from our dearest PixelTwitch. Shoot your guns, mouse one will help you. Clearly they're lacking that, I tend to agree. But guys at home, obviously if you're watching this, this is the show match between Splash Damage and Nexon. These two, publisher against developer. It's going to be beautiful. And you guys at home can get involved on Twitter, in Twitch chat. Just make sure you get your predictions through to us using that hashtag #PlayDirty. Simple as that. You can give us your predictions, and you even might get some goodies given away at random. So, make those predictions, get involved, because we are almost ready for map number 2. So far, it has all been the Nexon show. It caught a lot of people out. People were surprised. But so far, you know, the B team from Splash Damage is looking pretty damn shaky.
Well, what we've seen in the last map was SD Dave getting a massive clear with the turret. So I'm thinking maybe we could see SD run multiple bushwhackers and go for that multiple turret strat. But right now, it looks like they're going for a fairly traditional setup. It looks like they're going to send 2 people towards the luggage, 2 people up onto the balcony. And, wow, Jumbles went for the quick run by Shu, caught him out with an excellent grenade. And Shu, again with another great grenade, kills another teammate. But Shu's actually seems to be on point right now before going down to Jumbles' mine, which must have been thrown just before he died.
Yeah, Fluffy Gimp then going for a dangerous revive. Reviving on a full spawn almost can be almost a negative impact to the game, so you've got to be careful with that. But it looks like they're holding for now, but it doesn't seem all that stable. It doesn't seem all that secure because the C4 is down, and look at that. There is even Fletcher's little sticky bomb there, and well, the strike's going to come in, and this could be an extraordinarily fast time from Nexon.
Oh, this is not looking good. I don't know. I think if this goes down the way it's looking like it's going to go down, I think SD may need to pull out the big guns right now.
And I think Dave's going to get full spawn here if he gets gibbed, and he's the only engineer. There we go. He is going to be down and out, and that is a real problem considering, well, he was one of the engineers. And this looks like there is going to be a blisteringly fast time. The airstrike's coming in. Fluffy Gimp goes down. Shu tries to do something, but it doesn't matter. That gate is going to be blown, and that first stage is going to be waving that Nexon flag here because, well, Shu and all his nades can't save this one.
That time is fast for a stomp. Like right now, that time is fast for a stomp. The first objective on Terminal is one of the hardest objectives in the game. And straight off the first spawn, even though Nexon didn't all attack at the same time, they just got caught out by pure force. Shu did amazing plays, and it almost looked like he was actually going to be able to save the first objective for SD, but unfortunately it goes down in the last second, and the plant happens, and now it's all about the second objective, and we are only just over a minute into the first round.
Do you remember when you said this should be a really long full hold? I think
I know.
On the other way around, I think I'd agree with you if Nexon might have been defending first. However, yeah, this is not looking so bright and shiny for the Splash Damage lads. They're kind of in dire straits. Guys in Twitch chat, please keep judging. I love it. I really want more analysis. Linkser Just get in there. Give BCOG a message. Tell Antipop he needs to turn up because these guys need help. And Splash Damage, sadly, are in trouble. And look at Chefs. He's going in their spawn. Oh, he's looking for a sneaky place to hide to get the melee kill. Oh, this could be disastrous. If he gets this, this is going to hurt.
He's still got 6 seconds to wait right now.
He's just like, he's running around now. He's having a great time. He's just taking the tour of the map. Why not have a little look at what, you know, Splash Damage made and then just rip him apart on it? That's just mean, but still, I think he actually got put on full spawn, so not the best of choices to be made then.
Not exactly. I was kind of wondering if we were going to see any kind of strange strategies that which we haven't seen really out in the wild. Maybe a little bit of a map exploit that maybe SD only knew themselves. But,
maybe they'll create a secret tunnel through the map. That might actually help them here.
It would be absolutely hilarious to see it happen. BCOG does actually manage to get a kill onto Crytalix. He has taken control of this top MG balcony area. SD is holding on okay right now, but they do need to get these two diffuses done ASAP.
Yeah, I think we've got a man on the case. We do have BCOG trying to get one diffused. He's not exactly the right person to be doing so. And already, Nexon there challenging straight away. Dave goes down, the revive comes in, and BCOG trying to keep the pieces together here. Jumbo's actually getting the replant as well. This is relentless from Nexon.
Oh, this is absolutely relentless. And SD are caught out with 3 of the players onto another 12-second spawn. We've only got Kalida and Shu out right now, and neither of them are going to actually be able to defuse these at any decent pace. It's not looking very good at all for SD right now. They really want to kill themselves out because they're going to get put on long spawn. Shu is down for 22 seconds.
How is Kalida still alive? Wait, Kalida's still alive. Brad Rodo finally notices and will come through, and that defuse is done and dusted. That is gonna blow, surely. I don't think they're gonna have an engineer even close to this one, and the other objective is planted as well. Dave's gonna make a last-minute ditch play towards this one. He'll have to take down the turret. Jumbles is there and ready and waiting, and this is a disaster for Splash Damage. There's still 10 minutes on the board. They're gonna try and hedge their bets. Cut off from that one, and Dave does get the defuse, at least on one of the carriages. However, this is looking rather weary.
You can't underestimate how important that was, because now they've actually managed to at least buy themselves another 50 seconds. And 50 seconds on any map in Splash Damage in Dirty Bomb is a very long time. So, yeah, they've actually managed to buy themselves longer than 50 seconds. So they'll be quite happy with that play, and they're just going to be hoping that they can do that multiple times now to try and stretch this time out for as long as possible. But right now, the Nexon hold, there's 5 people on this point, is looking fairly strong.
Yeah, and Dave really needs to brush the dust off his shoulders here. He's going to be going in for that defuse. Jumbles was waiting. Kalida, that grenade finally kills him, but it doesn't matter. The engineer's gibbed, and this has gone from bad to worse. I think this one's going to go unless Kalida can pull off something, well, not short of a miracle, as BCOG is going to town, and the defuse is still not in place.
We've still got Chefs up with Red Rodo.
Red Rodo, yeah.
Up on that MG nest. I don't think they've actually spotted him out right now, so he is able to just shoot down bullets all over the place, and he's taking out BCOG. He's going to be able to take out Fluffy Kim.
Oh no, there's no time left. Splash Damage have fallen to pieces again. Nexon, the relentless force coming in strong, and I've got to say it, Nexon looks so much better right now than what Splash Damage are bringing. I'd be embarrassed if I was on their side.
Oh, embarrassed! That's a big word, Pansy.
I'm saying it.
Oh.
I backed these guys, alright? If I could bet, I would, and it would have been on them, and I'd have lost all my money. Look, this is shocking. This is shocking play. They made this game. They should be playing better. At the end of the day, they need to call Tumek right now, at this rate.
I kind of agree with you right now. I mean, Red Rodo, again, just like in the previous map, just going huge. Many more frags than anybody else, and I feel like right now it is really Red Rodo, which is the big difference in these two teams. I think
agree.
If Red Rodo was replaced by almost anybody else on Nexon right now, I don't think SD would be having these issues. But Red Rodo's just playing great. Like, there's no two ways about it. He's not doing anything special or unique. He's just playing solid, and it's just so difficult for SD to be able to take him down right now.
I don't know what they need to do here, because I look at that Nexon lineup. You're seeing Jumbles picking up Proxy again, and Jumbles has been crisp as well. He's been finding some real form. He's been playing the objectives well. Then you got Psychosis picking up Bushwhacker. He's been pretty solid, and really everyone's been playing well. I don't know really what else to say. These guys seem so well formed. They seem so ready. But Shu coming up with a big double, just kind of smacking them back into place, but they need the Gibbs. They need to get these guys down and out. Fluffy Gimp does come in with the Gimp at least. The Gimp at least. That's a new way of saying it. Sorry, I should have said Jib. I wouldn't have gotten confused. But still, Psychosis doing the cleanup, and once again, Splash Damage kind of not gaining much ground, even though they're getting the kills.
No, not at all, really. It looks like, that said, they are about to clean up most of the players here. They are going to get a hold into this lobby area. It just really depends if they can actually get some damage and maybe a pick out before they run out. Dave's running out. Does manage to take out Psychosis, but one thing I wanted to quickly mention is we were talking about these kind of internal metas and how it can be completely different to what the rest of the world play. And right now we're actually seeing Nexon run one of each engineer. We've got a Proxy, we've got a Bushwhacker and a Fletcher all on the field at the same time, which is something that we don't normally see, and I'm interested to see how this works out, but it looks like it's not working out very well. They're about to get wiped if Jumbles goes down, but no, he manages to clean up.
Oh my god, Jumbles just got 2 back kills as well. Shoo. Shoo. I'm so, oh my, and a third. So one does go down at least. But still, that was 3 melee kills back to back. That is just sheer BM coming into play. These guys know how to get these guys tilting. Splash damage are going to be furious right now. B-Cog's trying to do something. They're set up well for this. I don't know if they've really planted for that balcony though, and it will allow a little bit of the defuse to come into place. Ooh, but the nade saved the day there.
The Chef manages to sneak up behind them. He has taken control of this top area, but it really depends if he can actually hold it for his team so they can get the defuse right now.
This is going to be so important. They do have the MG control still in hand, at least for now. Is Fluffy Gimp up there, you've got Shu, you've got Dave. The defuse was coming in from Jumbles. He gets hit. It looks like they might have this Psychosis with the last ditch effort. And my god, splash damage aren't done just yet. Finally, they might have just, remembered how to use a keyboard and mouse, because they do at least get the first stage.
Wow. Like, when one team completely walks over the other team on terminal, you kind of expect that the other side's going to be a bit of a long full hold, to be honest. I was kind of selling SD short. I was thinking, oh my god, we're going to have to talk now for 5 or 6 minutes because they're not going to be able to get past that first objective. And they did, and in a time which is not that far away from what Nexon's
actually going for a plant. He's trying to do a bit of sneaky play here, but Jumbles coming in with the bat and batter up again. Kalida goes down. That could have been something important. He went for the harder to plant carriage then, and he actually got caught off doing it. That could have been such an advantage coming into this final stage, but still, Nexon have a good bit of time to set up here. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to defend this. They're going to need to really turn up splash damage. I'm still looking at, when are they going to finally turn up? Are they still messing around? Are they, taking this lightly to give them false hope? At the moment, it looks like this is the best they've got. I don't know if it's enough to really give them this game. And B-Cog running and gunning his way up towards that top balcony, trying to challenge out Rad Roto, but every second, every bullet he makes, that clock is ticking against them.
So SD look like they are starting to get a little bit of a grasp on this balcony area. Personally, I'm not a massive fan of the balcony area because...
Yeah, you were saying it in the last cup.
Yeah, I just feel like even though you get a decent position, like trying to transition into a plant from here is fairly difficult. That said, they did manage to get almost full wipe. We have got Felder going for the plant. He's going to get the plant on the first container, on container A. And it really depends if... Is it Shu that's going to go for the plant on container B? These plants are down.
I believe so, yeah. Shu is getting the plant. They've got the plant down. Now let's see if they can hold this. This they need. Here we go. The defuse is going to come in. Chefs does get picked up. B-Cog there finding Crip. And well, actually they've held on for the first go of this. They got 2 players down on a good long spawn here. 15 seconds. 3v5. Splash damage. Need this. They cannot allow this to get defused. The nades again coming in. Rad Roto goes down. He was on the objective. And they're doing it finally. Kalida with a big play comes in. Fluffy Gim with the save on towards Jumbles. And it looks like they might have just held this.
I think I'm not going to even try and predict these matches anymore because this makes no sense.
What? They've suddenly remembered how to play their own game, it seems. And this is the last-ditch effort coming out from Nexon, but I think they know the time is up. Shu is waiting it out perfectly. There goes one. The second carriage, seconds away. Jumbles tries to make the play, but the knife comes out, and B-Cog and Kalida will be closing this one down. And splash damage doing the unbelievable. Unreal.
And
that is now 1-1.
Shu going for the full teabag on Jumbles after he did manage to get the kill. Wow, like, the first half was so strong from Nexon. It looked like it was 5 minutes and 30 seconds is a decent time for competitive players to actually do this map. So I was thinking, oh wow, no, that's going to be difficult to beat. And then splash damage come out and do it almost a full minute quicker after taking long on the first objective. And it's too close to call right now.
I don't know what is going on. We are tied at 1-1 though. That was perfect going out from splash damage. Out of nowhere, that final stage can be so hard to break, can't it, Pixel?
Oh yeah, completely. Like, as soon as you've actually got a decent hold, you have a couple of your defenders up on the balcony area. You have one on the main MG and a couple watching main entrance. It can be so hard to break into because as soon as you go through any of the free entrances, the defenders can just all turn around all at once and just kind of really clamp down and put a massive crossfire on the entrance. And I was expecting that to happen, but for some strange reason, it just felt like SD was able to just push straight up in towards the elevator area. They did take the balcony, which I'm not personally a massive fan of, but they definitely made it work for them by shooting down and getting a few kills.
And I think we're seeing the new dank memes coming out, the T22 easy boys. I think it's just, the shaking hands from Shu, too nervous to learn to type, but he's getting there, he's getting there. But still, I think we need to check who's sitting in those splash damage chairs, because I think TwoMcMire just like thrown Fluffy Gimp off, sat down, Antipop just punches out DE Dave, sits in, and it's time to go. I don't know what happened, but clearly they remembered how to play their game. They decided they want to set a faster time than we've seen almost throughout the whole Dirty Cups season of plays, just showing, guys, we know what we're doing. We're just playing with your hearts. But guys in chat, who are you supporting right now? Are we going for Nexon off that incredible first map? Because Chapel was pretty damn impressive by them. Or, is there a little bit of love left with splash damage? Have they just kind of relit the fire? I don't know. You guys let me know in chat. Put up your predictions. Obviously, of course, if you want to actually get a chance for a giveaway as well, do it on Twitter. Hashtag #PlayDirty with your predictions. And here we go. So Team SD, we've got some Nexon boys up in here. All right, so there is a lot of support coming out for them. Finally, the splash damage supporters turn up as well. It's funny, the turncoats suddenly, going over to the NA side, a couple creeping towards EU. What are your thoughts so far? What happened in that last game?
I have no idea what happened in that last game. I may have a bit of an idea if they would actually shoot each other rather than running around with cricket bats and knives. I don't know how to follow this. This is so confusing to me. It seems to be working for them, I suppose because both teams seem to be doing it, but it's definitely very different to what I'm used to watching. But overall, it still kind of looked to me like if I was just watching the scoreboard, that Nexon was outplaying splash damage, but the attack from splash damage was completely on point. I don't really know what happened. I'm guessing that the momentum from the first objective just kind of carried SD through to the full victory there, because Nexon kill-wise was a little bit ahead of splash damage. So yeah, I have no idea, but whatever it is, it's working for them, and I'm hoping that we can actually see SD do that again.
Yeah, even Fluffy Gimp coming out confident now, saying, "Got to give a good show." We've got to make it look close here. Oof, that's a little confident after what we saw in the first map. Shu going to give the excuse of he finally got his chips, so maybe feeling a little bit better here. You just got to feed him every now and then so he can feed even more in game. But we are just waiting on the players to rejoin us here. I think they're all back in the server. We'll get this one going again. I think we might be going to Underground, and I'm not sure what to expect now because it's 1-1. I thought this was going to be pretty much one-sided. I think we can all say that it was looking a little bit like the Nexon show, but suddenly Splash Damage just found their footing. All right, I'm going to push you for a prediction. Somehow you're going to have to make this up. I don't know how it's going to work, but if you could maybe hazard a guess at Underground, what would you say?
I'd have to say SD, to be honest, because Underground is the closest map that we've got to Terminal right now. It's a map which is all about momentum, so providing they can actually get into the first objective and get a plant down in a decent time, and providing that luck is a little bit on their side and the plant just so happens to coincide with a decent spawn timer, I think that they may be able to get both objectives in a very short amount of time. It seems to be working for them, this kind of just all bulking together and running forward approach, where Nexon definitely seemed to be a little bit more tactical with their play, which obviously helped them out massively on Whitechapel. So for Underground, I definitely think SD. I think if we play Bridge or Train Yard next time, I think we may be going back for a Nexon win, but we'll have to wait and see.
And I know this sounds almost ridiculous at a 1-1. I just can't wait to hear the after-match talk with these guys, because whoever wins this, there's going to be a lot of words said. I don't know if they're going to be working together after this one with all the in-game flame going down. But guys, we are ready for map number 3. We are currently tied at 1-1. Nexon picking up the first. Splash Damage suddenly remembering how to play their own game and picking up map 2. But guys in chat, your predictions again. Get involved. Who do you think has this one in the bag? We will be seeing Splash Damage on the attack. Nexon on the defense. Pixel, what do you make of these picks so far?
Well, again, we're seeing multiple engineers on both teams, which is not something we see normally in competitive. So I am actually going to be following from Shu, because they have gone for a mainly roof push, but the turret has come up for Psychosis, which is actually going to be able to cause some damage, but it was actually Khalid that actually which took down Shu with the Nader's grenade. And it looks like the first wave has been fairly wiped up. It's still 3 versus 2, and is Dave going to be able to go and get this plant?
Oh, that's the big question, isn't it?
He
Dave
should.
now has to do here. Why did he not go for that?
I know.
Dave, stop playing with your turret and get back to work. Dave just kind of missing the objective here. He had the perfect opportunity to get that done, and now he dies to him. Like, can someone please make a montage of Dave just dribbling in his lap? I'm really... he really did need to kind of, you know, brush the dust off his shoulders in this one, but it's certainly not happened. And look at this. Nexon getting the revives in, getting set up now, and that big initial threat that splash damage could have caused just kind of subsided.
Yeah, and the momentum down is definitely back into Nexon's favour for the next couple of spawn waves at least. That said, the side gate is about to be blown on the left hand side for the attackers, and once this is opened up, it does open up that next avenue for an attack, so maybe we'll actually see SD just kind of funnel into here, but it looks like they've really committed to this roof. I mean, right now they've got 3 players up high, and the plant looks like it's going to go down.
I think Calidor was like, Dave, you're being useless right now, mate. You're basically a turret and nothing else. So I'm going to go and plant it for you. They do just get that plant in. And actually, I think they just... Did they get the Gib? No, the engineer's back up. And we've still got 2 engineers on this. One is Gib. Dave trying to actually be some sort of work now. Jumbles does get Gibbed as well. Bcog and Shu coming in with the important play. And Nexon do get wiped, but the respawn is up.
Now, without sounding harsh to both teams, I've started to notice... I've started to notice a little bit of a trend here, right? Getting the objective seems to be kind of difficult, just like it always is, but retaking objectives seems to be nigh on impossible for both teams right now, so it is really a case of who can get the objective done the first time. And wow, that is just... There's so many body parts floating around on my screen right now, I have no idea what I just saw, apart from lots and lots of explosion, lots of nades. Well, and SD taking the objective.
Calidor got, you know, a nice little triple in the bag, and hell, he thought, why not make it 4 by killing out Fluffy Gimp with the martyrdom, you know. He just really wants to get that scoreline looking a little better, but it does seem as though splash damage have secured, I'd say, a good time, would you say, on this first stage?
Oh yeah, like, normally on Underground what you'll see is it go in the very first wave, which was close to happening if Dave would have dropped down, but then normally, if you actually get that first wave cleared, it can take you ages and ages to get a decent foothold to get a plant off. But realistically, that's a decent time for Underground to actually be able to mess up your first wave and still get a fast plant.
It certainly can do, and we are seeing actually a couple of the splash damage guys pushing down on their own, not exactly advised. And I see Antipop actually in chat here, just kind of, you know, judging from afar, I feel. And Jumbles again, just going to do the BM plays with the bat and just kind of mopping up splash damage, who seem completely unaware of his position. And Jumbles will find Dave as well, and this is quite a nice position to get a good bit of crossfire going, isn't it?
It's so risky though, because I think in one more spawn wave, SD are going to start spawning behind Nexon, which is going to catch them.
Do they know that?
I hope so, because actually the spawns have actually started coming up now.
Well, let's see if they find out sooner rather than later to back the hell up, but they're having none of it. Look at this, Jumbles Red Rolo just picking up kill after kill. Psychosis when Shu. Fluffy Gimp with a great revive in towards the elevator, but he's gonna be stuck there, and Psychosis pins his head to the wall. And oh my god, Jumbles with the mine meeting him on the other side, and that's 2 players down and out.
That is
damage
brutal.
Fully wiped.
That is brutal. Splash damage are all up now. It looks like Nexon are going to start trying to step back a little bit, but then again, 2 players just got picked out. Luckily for them, Critalis does manage to actually come up and get one of the revives out, because if they get wiped on this spawn right now, it's almost guaranteeing an SD plant, so they need to be really careful, maybe consider falling back, but it doesn't look like they're going to.
Oh, Dave took the upper route as well, just around on the side, just so he can get that extra damage, but Dave, what are you doing, Dave? Dave's having an absolute mare in this map. He's taken down Fluffy Gimp a couple of times. He's decided, you know, he didn't want to plant when he was an engineer, and now he's killing his own teammates. But I do love the way that the mine at the edge of the elevator exit has now, or sorry, the lift exit, should I say, has now turned into the fishbowl mine that everyone seems to go into every single time. But we have seen splash damage start to make the way through, so they are starting to build a good kind of presence into this map.
Yeah, they've definitely still got some momentum off the previous spawn as well. They're about to go and get into that control area, providing that they can actually spam a few grenades up. There's actually only one other player in there, and it is a sniper. So if they can actually break into the control room, they should be able to take it. It's going to be 2 versus 1. Control room has been taken. They're going to be able to start some... I take that back. Red Road with an excellent grenade, cleans up Bcog.
You get your hopes up, don't you? And then suddenly just kind of gets ripped away with the good nades. But I think there's someone actually in the spawn of splash damage who's been really kind of being a pest here, slowing down their play towards the objective. And Nexon actually setting up a good bit of crossfire towards that control room. They're starting to get control here. Chef's going to go back in, take on Fluffy. Well, Fluffy's putting up a bit of a stand and does get the kill at least. So we are seeing splash damage gaining some control, but this nade coming in from Red Roto again is going to start hurting.
Yeah, both players are going to be taken down in the control room. Jumbles is just running around crazy with that cricket bat. I've never seen a player play like this and actually still manage to make it work. I personally really struggle with the melee weapons in Dirty Bomb. I think that they've got quite a short range, and obviously because the movement speed's so fast, and I've got very low sensitivity, I just can't keep up. But Jumbles is just beating everybody black and blue that he meets in combat, and it's absolutely hilarious to watch. I'm gonna have to. I want to play some melee only rounds, I think, in the next couple of days.
I think I might have to join you on that one because, well, Jumbles is giving a bit of a masterclass. I'm going to sit on board with him for a little bit, kind of see what he's up to, because he's been playing this pretty well. He's been playing almost the stereotypical proxy, running around on servers, just dropping mines everywhere and kind of being a nuisance with the bat. So, alrighty, going to start looking over towards defusing, on towards the final objective there. Splash damage should get the plant, but no one there to really stop him getting the defuse, and splash damage really letting the one slip between their fingers.
Shu missed the sniper shot. He wasn't even moving. Like, this could have actually been a completely different story. I mean, wow, Shu, you messed it up, mate. Jumble's still with more and more bats.
I don't know how he does this. It's kind of worrying he gets away with it. Finally, Fluffy Gimp does deal with him, but it seems a little bit, you know, after the fact here. And Bcog is going for the sniper plant. He's going to try and put that one in, but the objective is now going to be swarmed with Nexon players coming in, piling out of spawn, and just trying to hold this one up. Shu is at least connecting some headshots, but once again, that plant is taking so long.
Yeah, they had the plants and they had the perfect opportunity. That said, it has just gone down on the other side now, so if Shu can rotate back down to actually look through this pipe.
Alright, let's see. Here we go. It's going to be the Shu moment. He can't...
What's he doing?
What are you... Shu, what are you doing? Are you blind? Oh god, this might just work. And well,
no, it's not going to work.
No, Shu needs to be demoted. Please, can someone please, you know, maybe just cut his salary, do something, because that was atrocious.
It's like a season 1 Link's a strat. We've moved on from there, Shu. We've moved on from there, mate.
I just worry, you know, if this is the best Shu's got, maybe they gave him a controller, you know, here's your Xbox controller, you go play on that one, will really help you out, but he's certainly not bringing the A game today, guys. He is missing like an absolute champ, but we are going to see splash damage again, going in towards this one. Canada with Fluffy again pushing on towards the right side. We can see the revives coming in, but the martyrdom just going to stop that one. Very, very poor options. Now Fluffy Gimp, sadly, is all out on his own on long spawn. This could be a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, poor Fluffy Game's down for the next 20 seconds. It gives him 20 seconds to shout at the rest of his team and tell them what to do because it doesn't seem to be working. Shu's now defending the plant, which isn't actually there. So, that's a thing.
Is Shu okay? Can someone check on Shu? Because he is not having a good time right now. I've seen Linksa, you know, handle pressure better than Shu, and that's saying something. But still, Shu, once again, just kind of chilling out, having a great time. I don't think he knows he's in a real match, you know. He's a bit of a ditzy fellow, but I just wanted to see more, you know. He's talking so much smack at the start of this, you know. He's meant to be a LAN veteran. I'm just not seeing it. The plant's in, but again, Shu didn't even realise.
I'm just waiting for it right now. I'll give it like another couple of minutes and we're just going to see a little bit of text chat from Shu saying when are we actually starting.
To be fair, I think he's just going to suddenly go AFK because, you know, I think either Antipop's just gone and, you know, ripped him off his chair and just put him in his place. I'm kind of worried here. This man was meant to be the monster and he's turned out to be a bit of a pussycat at the moment. But anyway, Critalic's going to pick up the, well, it was going to be the Jumbles mantle, who's been going around batting everyone. But at the moment, this has been a great last stage hold.
Oh yeah, absolutely amazing. I mean, SD have had so many great opportunities. They've got another opportunity right now. The plant is down. Shu's not in the greatest position, and the C4 is not planted in the greatest position. He's got a lot of cover right there from the control panels. You really want to be planting that C4 right on the edge of the ramps, just so that it's nowhere to hide while they're getting that defuse on. Something that I think SD could do with trying to make sure that they're doing the next couple of plants, because right now, 5 minutes left, still very possible, but if they keep up with the same kind of momentum that they've got recently, it's not going to happen, is it?
Certainly not, and I kind of turn my mind back to when we saw Splash Damage having to hold these kind of extended last stages. They weren't phenomenal at it. They kind of got outdone on this one, and Chefs is now overrun by players. They might be able to get a good plant in here. But once again, it's starting to, be mowed down. Shu's in a good position. They need to get this plant. Dave's in the right place, but he's planting on the wrong side. Shu now has to run all the way around and probably miss from that side instead. I don't know if this is going to work out. I don't know if they can even get the plant in properly. They have at least. And Psychosis trying to get the defuse, gets picked up. But do you think they can hold this one?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm actually going for C4 cam right now. I've just crammed myself in the little corner. I'm just going to watch and see what happens right now because it's too hard to predict, isn't it? It's just absolutely crazy right now. That said, it looks like they have actually got full control of the platform apart from... No, Red Rodo's going up.
Here's the respawn. This has to be clutch time. Shu has to deliver, and Shu finally does the damage. But the NG's back up, and the diffuse is coming in. Critalix is going to be doing it. Psychosis actually fluffs it, but look at this play coming out. Finally fluffing him, but Shu comes in. Shu, it took you 5 times of asking, but I think he finally did the job.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bodies are down on top of that C4 right now on my screen. That was absolutely hilarious. The bodies were just piling up over the top of that C4. Shu finally made it work out for himself, which means that they are going to be able to complete the map in, well, 11 minutes. It's not a horrendous time. It's definitely beatable. But, yeah, providing that they can get a longer hold on that first objective, SD may be in with this map here.
Maybe, because that first stage was pretty fast from splash damage. They really got that one done pretty darn well. So if Nexon can kind of do the same thing, it could be an extraordinarily close game. However, I don't know if they can. I'm trying to think back to, did we see any impressive defending sides from splash damage?
No.
Not really.
No, not at all. They did okay on the terminal second objective, to be fair. It wasn't too bad at all, but it was not perfect. It was a bit sloppy, wasn't it? They've got a Rhino in this loadout, Fluffy Gimp has. It'd be kind of cool to see Rhino maybe jump out and actually hold that room. Maybe they're listening. Are you listening to splash damage? Shh, get your loadouts.
I think Shu would have deleted me as a friend if he'd been listening to any of this, so hopefully not. They might just turn up in Germany knocking at my door. I'm like, I didn't say anything, I don't know what you mean, it was all Pixel. Anyway, we are going live into this one. Splash damage on the defense, and on the attack it's going to be Nexon. We are still tied at 1-1, but splash damage did set a time in this map, so it's all into the hands of the one, the only Nexon, and DE Dave turning up finally with a double kill to start off with. This is a nice little start here.
It's looking quite strong from Nexon right now. GM Rodo is up on the balcony, about to jump over to the roof. Once they hold this area, they're going to get one of the nades down. Can they actually get any kills off this? I think once they clean this, they may actually be able to get this plant. It's looking really good right now for Nexon.
It's worrying at times. Red Rodo getting control on the roof until B-Cog shows up. Gets down 2. That's not bad play. Critalix is just waiting it out, though. He's just playing calm here. He's going to be dropping down those beautiful little sticky bombs, going in with the revolver and missing every single shot.
Massively.
But he's still alive. And missing that again. I enjoy just watching them miss here. I think this is my new favorite camera, watching Critalix not quite do very well with the sticky bombs.
The turret has been taken down. It looks like Nexon are up in the point right now, but we have got Kalida on the Aura, on top of the Aura's healing station, just managing to get all the heals out. And I think the Aura is going to actually be one of the deciding factors right now, because the heals from an Aura's healing station are just so strong. So once you've got it set up in a position where it's not going to be hit by too many explosives, you can basically just fight on that with Aura, who has only got 18 HP and actually survived for what seems like ever. And I think that's what Kalida's plan right now is.
I think Kalida has a good bit of sustain here, and they certainly need it. Dave does get picked up, but the revives are coming in thick and fast, and the push is coming out, and you're going to see Kalida just have to be the end line. He has to stop this one being able to be planted down. Chefs is picking up the kill. Dave and Fluffy Gimp returning back towards that healing station. Actually, Fluffy Gimp playing a little bit better here. Last time we kind of noted the lack of kills, but you know, he's doing a little bit better now.
Right now, when the shoe was on the other foot, we would have actually seen splash damage already detonate at this point. So already they are starting to actually get a decent hold versus Nexon. So they already have a little bit of an advantage if you actually compare the times directly. So it's not looking too awful for them. I thought that maybe we would have a few more problems, but SD seems to just be staying calm, playing it cool, and getting into decent positions and actually holding this for a decent amount of time now.
They actually seem to be fairly well versed in this. I've got to say, they've actually got almost positions here. You've got Kalida holding in towards on the main objective. You've got Dave over towards the one of the sides. And you got them split across, and then Shu playing roof. They seem to have a bit of a plan here. Maybe they've been doing some tactics during those lunch breaks, because they have started to work this out. And even when Nexon get this amount of kills, they respawn in time to reinforce, and Canada is still there waiting. So this isn't a bad bit of play.
Oh, poor Shu. He almost killed himself twice with grenades by throwing him at a wall and watching them bounce back into his own face. He is still alive. He has still got a hold of this. Nexon have blown the side door, so they need to get that closed. It looks like Shu's actually going to try and get the repair on that as soon as possible.
Jumbles is in though. Jumbles was getting the plant, and BCOG does come in. Fluffy Gimp gets the gib, and that was quite important play considering Calendar did go down. He got picked up a little early after picking up one. So I'm going to say in this one, the way Splash Damage are playing this first stage, they look substantially better. But Nexon going to make a big play towards the roof, outnumbering BCOG 5-1, and it looks like this is possibly go time here. It'd take quite the miracle to hold on to this.
It looks like they've got it. It looks like they've completely taken over the point. Jumbles is about to get the plant down. He does get the plant down. He's going to have a turret up any second now, so he can actually try and defend that from another corner as well. And it's all on Splash Damage to try and break into here now and get that defuse as soon as possible, because there's really, based on these spawn times, only 1.5 spawn wave. Basically, the attack on the next spawn wave after this, they need to really commit.
Oh, Shu going to be trying to retake in on towards the side itself. Shu does take down Critalix, gets the gip, and actually they've cleaned up Nexon. It's going to be the race to the defuse. Dave is on it right now, and he gets it done. Splash Damage turning up finally in this game, and it looks like they might be doing well. If they hold this for maybe 1 or 2 more minutes, this is a really good first stage.
That was actually a really decent retake as well from Splash Damage. Just felt so in time with each other, just all ran in kind of like one of those proper, like what you see in the American SWAT movies, where they just all barge through the door at once and check the corners and clear it up, and it definitely worked out for them. That said, Jumbles is about to put down another bomb, and there we go. Davey's on the defuse.
These retakes are so impressive. When did Splash Damage learn to do this? Did someone just plug in their mouse? Were they playing on joysticks before? I don't know what happens to these guys. It swings and roundabouts, but regardless, Splash Damage once again weathering the storm. And with only 6 minutes and 13 seconds, that clock is going to start really wearing towards the Nexon guys. And you've got to imagine, after that first map, they were probably so confident.
Yeah.
And now, I'm not sure they'd be so confident in this one.
No, not at all. That said, I have to admit that once you actually get this first objective, providing you can actually get a decent attack off in a couple of waves afterwards, the momentum can carry you through to a really fast second objective as well. So it's definitely not all over for Nexon right now. But realistically, I'd say that they want to get that plant in the next maybe 1 or 2 minutes if they want to stand a really strong chance, because they are going to get held up on them stairs for at least a minute in most situations as well. So it is all against Nexon right now. They really want to get that plant in. They really need to kind of regroup. They are all dying at the same time and attacking at the same time, but they're just attacking at different places all over the place, and it's looking a little bit sloppy right now.
It certainly does. And I have to say that to me, Calida and Dave have been the 2 outstanding players in this one. And once again, Dave going to go on the batter up mission. He's going to be taking down Red Roto, getting a little bit of revenge. But Nexon now have players up and standing. But look at this, Splash Damage actually pushing out aggressively on a short spawn. This is smart. When did they learn how to do this? And when did Shu learn to aim like that? He gets 2 in the bag and looks for the cleanup. And hopefully they can retract in time and not get full spawns. This is very impressive. Shu going to be getting the defuse in as well. This is looking better and better for the Splash Damage boys.
Now, Calida was actually one of the bottom scorers on the Whitechapel map at the start.
Oh, Shu.
And now he's completely dominating on that SD side. I think it is time we actually get somebody to do a quick little referee check and make sure that nobody else has jumped in Calida's chair, because all of a sudden he's playing amazing, where he was actually one of the weaker players on the first map.
Oh, so are you saying there's cheekiness?
I think there may be cheekiness. I'm going to say it. I'm going to call it, because Calida's just pulling out all the stops right now, and it's working out really well for him. But yeah, Nexon, I've got the bomb down right now, so this may be the one that they've been waiting for. We've got Jumbles throwing a mine in. Look, he's swinging the bat from range as well. You can't hit him.
This guy is insane. He loves this. You know, rather than giving him any primary weapon, just give him the bat. I think he just needs that. But look at this. Here comes the retake. Dave walks in, gets down Chef. Dave with the double, coming up big towards Jumbles. Defuse comes in, but there's still players on the roof. They need to keep him alive. Psychosis, their nades are coming in. This is unbelievable. This is going to be so close. But the defuse did come through, and somehow again, Splash Damage hold on by a whisker.
Oh, it's looking close to a full hold right now. There's only 3.5 minutes left. It's going to take them 50 seconds to do this objective, 50 seconds to the next. and at least a minute in transition time. So it's very, very close to not even being possible right now. And it's looking highly likely that SD may be actually able to full hold Nexon on Underground, where when we look back to the first and second maps, it wasn't looking nowhere near this dominant from splash damage.
It's night and day. I think we can all see that one. Nexon have been getting control of the roof here. They've been starting to actually get a little bit more pressure on that, and I like the way they started to play in, but they just can't hold these retakes for some reason. As you said, I don't know what's happened to Calidar and Dave, but those two, they've been, I don't know what's been given to them, what cup of coffee came in, but it certainly helped out. The plant is coming through, but this will need something phenomenal to be able to get towards that final stage. I don't even know what sort of minimal time they need.
Realistically, like, you've got 50 seconds for the second bomb to go off, you're looking at 5 seconds to plant it, and you're looking at around a minute and a half to actually break through the middle section. So right now, they are right on the edge of what I would normally consider possible for a team. I mean, surely you can do it a little bit faster, but really they need to get this bomb, they need to get it to explode, and then they need to make the way straight down there if they want any hope of being able to complete this map.
Well, I think they've just about held on to this. I think Dave's been given, he has been, so they don't really have an engineer up for splash damage. So at least they'll be able to get the first stage hit for Nexon. The nades will be holding them back. Red Rodo going to pick up Shu as Fluffy Gimp does finally take him down. But regardless of the kills, the first stage will at least be picked up by Nexon. And it's going to be how much they can achieve now straight off the back. It has to be one flawless run almost.
Yeah, completely. So it takes 50 seconds for the C4 to blow. They've got around a minute from now to actually be already planting that C4. And this middle objective, I say middle objective, this forward spawn point, which happens a full minute after that first objective blows. So they're not even going to be able to take advantage of that. They need to actually push through and break through right now if they want that chance.
Let's keep our eyes on those Nexon boys. They have to do this. They have to make it flawless. Psychosis does at least take down Shu with the martyrdom, but not exactly the best way to kill people out of this point when you get full spawn. But Dave gonna push up again, and this is just unbelievable. These two, it is Dave and Calidar. I don't know what has happened to those, but they have just turned the hell up, and they are spotting out Chefs. They are seeing him trying to make a play here, and well, the bat is going to be put away this time, and it looks like splash damage might have just done enough here.
20 seconds before the C4 needs to have been planted. It's not looking good right now. I don't feel like it's actually possible to actually make that anymore with the distance. And now with 10 seconds left, it looks like splash damage are going to take Underground. It was a prediction that I did make. I expected it to be a little bit cleaner though. I didn't expect it to go quite as long. I mean, what was that, 11 minutes on Underground, which is quite a long time, especially considering the time that they did the first objective. But SD are going to be making it a 2-1 right now. And it is all on the next map, really, if you think about it, so
that's it. And I can't wait for it. So currently we will be seeing splash damage closing this one out. The plant is no longer possible for Nexon. And surprising to all, splash damage actually started to play well in the last two maps. I don't know what happened on the first, and my heart almost bleeds a little bit for Nexon, considering they did so well on map 1. They were just unstoppable. They've just kind of fallen apart here, and I kind of hope for their sake they can take it through into the next maps. But I've got to say, once again, Calidar and Dave, those two found their footing so well in this game. I don't know what happened from the last maps. As you said, they were at the bottom. They were not playing well. But as soon as this came to this map, they just must have felt so much more comfortable. And I want to see the end score here for these two, considering they were, you know, on the lesser classes. Look at this. Nada, Skyhammer, and Aura, 44-29. Someone check his PC right now.
And right even now. Shu went 49-19. What on earth there, Shu? We didn't even see that. I wasn't even following Shu most of the time. To be fair, most of his kills probably wasn't like the most important kills, but every single kill is important in some way or another. And I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm actually seeing Red Rodo
We're seeing Hi to Mick in chat as well. They're calling it. They're like, this ain't happening. This ain't right.
Oh, it's such a change from the first couple of maps. I do feel like maybe there were a bit of first map nerves, to be fair. I mean, it is a possibility. But I'm really surprised. Like, Calidar just pulled out all the stops there. Shu's actually starting to get a lot of frags. So, I think that Nexon now are behind on momentum a little bit. So, I think it's more likely going to be SD take the next map, regardless of what it is. But I would really, really, really like to see Nexon be able to take the next map and actually see all 5 maps played in this best of 5.
I kind of agree.
You want to see Bridge still, right?
I love Bridge. Bridge is my favorite map, and I'll say it straight out because, well, it's kind of like Gold Rush. Anyone old out there will remember Gold Rush, and it's just awesome to see. However, I still don't know what to expect because suddenly it's day and night from these guys, because who knows, maybe Nexon will rekindle what they had on Chapel on the first map when they decided they wanted to really play this game, you know, when they decided, you know, Nexon wanted to really show Splash Damage what they're made of, and they put up such a good fight. But the biggest impact that Shu is currently having is in chat. I wish you could see it, guys. You might be able to, I'm not sure. He is chatting out of his place that I shouldn't say on air.
Out of his ass.
It's unreal.
Oops.
That's the word. See, I'm not allowed to say it, you can. That's why I like having you here. But who's impressed you the most from the Nexon side? Because there's been a couple of players standing out to me.
I honestly, from the Nexon side, obviously Red Rodo's been playing absolutely amazing, and Jumbles has been playing hilarious. I've actually really enjoyed watching him. But the person that's really come out and surprised me is Chefs. I've played with Chefs in the past. I've seen him play. I didn't consider him very good at all, to be honest, but I knew how much this meant to him. I knew he's told me over on Skype, he's told me like he's deadly serious, he's been getting his practice in, and it's showing, to be honest. He has really improved from when I've last seen him. So yeah, it was fairly bad, and now he's nowhere near the worst on that team. He's nowhere near the worst in the server right now. So Chefs has definitely impressed me. So he's my favourite player to watch when I've got a little bit of time, when there's not really much going on. I don't know. Yeah, I'd have to say Chefs. And Red Rodo's obviously doing the best, but Chefs.
I'm kind of surprised by Red Rodo. I wasn't too aware of him, if I'm honest. Obviously Chefs you see everywhere. He's in every single chat. He's shouting at bars, watching, you know, the games on his phone or whatever. But you know, I hadn't seen this guy around, and he's come in and really played well. He's been showing some real competence in every single class he's been playing. Psychosis as well has been having some great games. Jumbles is, you know, currently the melee champion of the world. So a lot of their team has actually really shown some good performances. We will be getting ready for what could possibly be our final map here if, well, Splash Damage pick this up. It'll be their game to win. They're on game point now. They're on match point. Once again, guys at home, get those final predictions through to us on Twitter. Hashtag #PlayDirty with your predictions, your thoughts, and get involved. And even, you know what, even 2mix turning up in chat saying, I'm insulted that people thought Shu was me.
Oh!
Woo, the in-house flame? That's something new. That's just cold-hearted. You know what? That's just cold. He's just a little sad, you know? He didn't get to play. He had to be benched. He's the water boy. He's been running the tea back and forward. But still, we're now 6 seconds away. Your prediction. Chuck us to it, Pixel.
My prediction is actually Nexon going to take this map, and the reason why I say this is that Bridge is the closest, obviously, to Whitechapel, and I saw Nexon take pure dominance on Whitechapel, so maybe if they can actually get a decent hold at the first bit and stop that EV a fair few times, which Nexon did, to be fair. They had multiple Sky Hammers out at all times, then I think they could take it.
Well, we'll find out very soon, because it will be Nexon on the attack, and it will be Splash Damage on the defense, and Dave already getting the bat in and Shu with a team kill. It sums up the game very well so far. Shu does not know what team damage is, and it's just really quite difficult to explain to him. He's a simple person. Anyway,
right now,
what do you see so far?
That was a really quick first wipe by SD. Did fairly well to actually keep all the players off the point. But that said, they did get around a quarter of that EV repaired, which is a decent amount of progress on Bridge, because it can be one of those first objective on Bridge is probably the hardest objective in the game to actually push through to. So yeah, it looks like it's going okay for Nexon right now.
It certainly does. They are making a good impact here. They're making a good couple of picks. I think it was actually Beacog who pushed up in towards the kind of control room house, or whatever you people want to call it. You know, I've called it many things at one point, but it's the room that opposes where the EV is, and you can see that they've been making some good progress getting towards this EV. Fluffy Gimp has been switching between every single weapon he has, and even takes down his own teammate to add to the maelstrom there. But Beacog did get caught out on his own, and they need to be careful of that Splash Damage. They can't get too confident. They can't get too aggressive. They need to find that right balance.
Over 50% now done on that EV. That is progress. I think each time they're not managing to actually keep a hold of the EV area, but they're able to just pull SD out of positions and get enough damage on them to actually allow them to chip away little bits and bats of the EV at a time. And it seems to be working okay for them right now. Where SD seems to be in fairly solid positions, this is going to be very hard for Nexon.
Yeah, they seem better set up now.
Yeah.
It took them a little bit of time, but it looks like maybe they've started to be a bit more consistent with it here. Seeing Kalida get, you know, into the game, they're having to lock down that bridge play, BCOG playing from the back. It's all going pretty well, but guys in chat, I want you to give us your thoughts on my idea here. What do you think of 2mix sneakily filming Shu playing right now? Who would like to hear that? I think they would. But let's have a little look at the Nexon side. Let's see what they're running with here. I want to kind of get an idea of how they're playing this one out. So they've got a Bushwhacker, they've got a Skyhammer, Medic. They don't actually have a fragger in this. Do you think that's something they're missing here?
Oh, definitely. I think it's something that they're missing. But I'm really kind of surprised by this kind of Nexon internal meta, it seems, because almost each time they've run with 3 engineers whenever there's been an EV. So they've been running with a Proxy, the Fletcher, and the Bushwhacker all at the same time. I do feel like it would make more sense to swap out Critelix now for maybe the fragger, or have Red Rodo go for a medic. I mean, one thing that does surprise me is that Nexon has almost always only had 1 medic on squad at any one time, where we all know from watching competitive Dirty Bomb generally that 2 medics has kind of become the set meta, which everyone just kind of agrees on. So I feel like they are both missing a medic and a fragger in this loadout right now.
Yeah, I think they need to start watching back those dirtycups.gg VODs and just kind of finding out what that current meta is, maybe. Because look at this, the EV is getting repaired right now. We are seeing a little bit of work coming in. The clean out comes from Dave and Kalida, again saving the day. But it looks like Nexon are kind of depending on just throwing bodies at the EV and hoping it works out.
I mean, SD, like, score-wise, they're doing an awful lot better than Nexon are doing. And even when it comes to kills, I won't be surprised when we actually see the end scores that SD are actually completely dominating them kill-wise. It's just Nexon was able to sprint in like what we're seeing right now and just almost get it. One more push like that and this objective is going to be done. The spawns will get pushed further back and then they will be on their way towards the second objective. So SD needs to try and hold on for as much as he can, but Red Rodo's actually going to run over. And there we go, done.
Splash damage got torn to pieces and they just kind of pushed out in the wrong ways, and even though they were getting the kills in, it didn't matter, they weren't the important kills and they should have been focusing on them. But Red Rodo ignoring the EV, going in for the kill towards Shu and leaving his teammates maybe to try and make that EV move. Cleaning up splash damage at this point shouldn't be the priority here, and it's actually got him taken down by Fluffy Gimp. That's not great in itself. So really, Nexon losing out on a little bit of time then.
Well, Psychosis has actually decided to push really fairly far forward and try and stop the rebuild on this generator, which is going to start up the barricade. So we've actually got 2 Bushwhackers for Nexon in this area right now. Looks like they're going to try and get turrets set up and just allow that EV to get into this position where it can't be stopped. I'd be interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, this is a great play from Nexon, actually. Being able to control this area, first of all. Chef's doing wonderfully getting there first. I think Psychosis joining him, as you noted. The turrets are in place. Shu going to come in with the grenade. Doesn't matter. Their attention's on towards Kalida, actually. And somehow Splash Damage have ninja'd their way in here. They've got to be careful here. The Nexon boys could really lose out on... Oh my god, that is such a shame. They had such a great position to lock that one down from, but a mistake was made, and Splash Damage actually put their attention in the right place for once.
Yeah, but that said, it still kind of works out in Nexon's favour. It did kind of take all pressure off the EV for a decent amount of time, allowing them to roll it straight up to the barricade. And now all they need to do is put mass damage on there. We are actually seeing Psychosis trying to just shoot it down, which is going to take a tremendous amount of time. They really need to try and switch out to maybe a nader, which Psychosis has got in his loadout. And this is the perfect time for that Fletcher now. Just throw as many bombs as you can onto that generator and open it up as soon as possible.
I really hope Nexon keeps that in mind, because it can become such a grind at this point if you don't switch to it. Even if you're getting the kills, it can be so hard. But we are seeing 2 players around the backside here. Well, actually, yeah, now just about 2. Chef's got revived. And we've got Red Rodo actually making a bit of a ninja play around the back by that ammo station. They take down the turret, and actually they could do this on their own. Splash Damage seemed completely unawares, and they're going to be shooting this down as much as possible. Chef's is... Oh my god, Psychosis, are you kidding me right now?
That next level play.
Oh my god, and Psychosis tapped out as well, and everyone's tapping out. This has turned into an absolute shambles, and Kalida decides he wants to make it even worse, picking up the double. Oh Lord, Nexon, that was your one big chance, and you just fluffed it.
Oh, completely. It was looking so good. The C4 was about to go down. I don't agree with planting the C4 at this point, because I think it's only like 2 or 3 more grenades. 1, 2, oh, maybe 1 more. It's got to be close.
Oh god. There we go. That should... No, not doing the job. Jeez, that... that generator is having none of this. It's like, I'm pretty sure maybe someone should put a little bit of God mode onto that generator. Like, no, we're not letting it. We need to win here, guys. I want to go home, I want my cup of tea. But that team kill is going to be haunting Nexon now for some time. There we go. Finally, it's down. But the EV's not repaired. It's not moving yet. And splash damage is still creating a good crossfire here.
Now, for anybody who's new to Dirty Bomb, what the attackers need to do now is repair this EV and actually move it forward just a couple of inches, and then the forward spawns will become active, which means that Nexon will have to be spawning a lot closer to the EV moving forward. So right now it's all up to SD to try and just delay that as much as possible. If they can actually hold them here for about another minute, it's just a minute of longer hard spawns. But it looks like we have got Jumbles repairing it from the backside.
Oh, Shu's going in for the nade. Oh, he does get down.
I thought he missed that.
Great play from Shu. I thought that was a little short there, but hey, if it does the job, you know, can't complain. And Shu's going up in a good little position here. He does get picked up. Not really expecting Red Roto and Krillix to come around the side, but this is a bit of a cleanup coming out from Nexon. They need to get the EV repaired, and they have. Bcog couldn't stop it, and that's enough to take it over there. They will get those beneficial forward spawns and then get themselves moving ahead. So not bad time from Nexon so far.
No.
6 minutes and 50 seconds. That's pretty decent, right?
Oh yeah, completely. That's you do see like even the top teams take longer than this. It's around average. It's obviously not an amazing time. It did take them a fair bit of time on that first objective. They wasted a little bit of time on the second, but overall I'd say that's a decent time, and I'd be quite happy with that if I was actually on Nexon right now. That said, the EV has just been taken down by multiple airstrikes. They were coming out from every single angle. That was on the roofs and everything, and they just need to get this repaired and get it moving again.
Well, let's see if they can do it. Jumbles is on the case. We know Jumbles can do one of two things most of the time. It's either the bat or it's the repair. And we're going to see at least the repair this time, as Kalida will find Psychosis. But it doesn't matter. Jumbles does get the EV up and running. And splash damage this time not making so much of an impact. So this isn't too bad. So this is keeping them moving. This is good. This is what we need to see. And Nexon just throwing bodies at the EV. Great reviving work coming out as well. That's not bad from Krillix. They're actually doing quite nicely in this. Psychosis is still up and standing, trying to make a play. We've got Rad Roto up above on the catwalk area, laying down the fire. And actually, they've broken through extraordinarily well in this one.
It's about to be taken now. And once it's taken, they need to run into the GH building and actually capture the drugs and bring it back to the container, which you can actually see in the middle of the road. It looks like SD are going to have time to set up. But that said, Shu is absolutely miles away right now. He's like back in the, well, he's still on the bridge.
Has Shu gone lost?
I think he got lost.
Not understand? Is he like, guys, I'm going to stop the EV? And like, well, it's already kind of in place, Shu. You need to, come on, come down and help your teammates. He's trying to be Bunga Bunga. He's trying to be, you know, Olba. He's got the nade. But I don't know if he knows where they spawn. I think he's going to be... he's been spotted. Shoot, that was absolutely underwhelming if I've ever seen it. That was atrocious. Regardless, Nexon now do have a good chance of getting in. They have taken some control up towards this final stage. Fluffy Gimp, oh, he goes down. That's not great. And they've actually got a good chance of a run here if Bcog can't stop this.
Oh, Bcog went in without his weapon reloaded.
No.
Oh, Sloppy Blade, luckily. Kalida's
Bcog just shooting his load a little too early here. And Chefs is actually doing pretty well, but does get picked up and splash damage somehow actually locking this one down. I don't know how they pulled that off. And then the teabags ended out with Bcog. You know, the BM with him is better than his aim, I've got to say it. And finally, we will be seeing Jumbles being found, who was trying to make a bit of a sneaky play.
Kalida's turret has just been doing complete work. I think he must have had like 8 or 9 kills so far in this map already. And that's kind of impressive for Bridge on its own. I have to say, just while Nexon try and line themselves up for an attack, I'm kind of disappointed we haven't seen the full roster of Mercs here. I would have loved to have seen a Rhino in this area. It's so tight and yeah, really lock it down, but they are opting to use that turret instead of maybe the Rhino, so it seems to be working out for them right now. They've got another 3 minutes and 50 seconds to hold splash damage of, and they seem to be doing an okay job so far.
Yeah, and as you said, I would have really liked to have seen that Rhino with maybe Aura combination on that final stage. I think it can be so powerful, even if you can't aim, so that certainly helps out the splash damage players. It could have really done wonders for them. And actually, Nexon being called up quite nicely here, splash damage getting that crossfire in place. But yeah, I'd have liked to have maybe seen someone picking up. Does anyone have it currently in their...
Yeah, Fluffy Gimp's got it.
See, and I'd have loved to seen maybe someone then playing Aura with him. I think we did see earlier Kalida having it, and Bcog, yeah, anyone running that I'd have loved to have seen. It's a real shame that actually they haven't gone for that. Clearly they're not too confident.
I'll tell you what,
once again the melee.
I'll tell you what I'm really surprised at though. No Sparks. I don't know if you've played the game again since Sparks was introduced, but she's
I love the railgun.
Yeah, she's a ridiculous medic. And I think that both teams could really have benefited from that long-range revive at multiple times right now. But yeah, I suppose that's just the story of Dirty Bomb, isn't it? Just so much variation and options that you're never actually going to please everybody because there's just too much there to actually cover in a single match.
You've always got to think of it as well. These guys, they may, be a little bit, let's say, jovial about things, but this means the world to them. These two teams have been practicing. They've been trying to get ready. This means everything. But they want to go to their comfort picks. They can't try new things out in case it doesn't work. And then, imagine if you cost your team the win. You'd be in the doghouse in the office for years. There'd be no promotions on the, on the horizon. You'd be done for. So
I suppose that's it. You got to work with these people afterwards, don't you?
You've got to turn up the next day and stare that guy in the face who you let get gibbed. And you're like, I'm so sorry. It's not easy, but still, we've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds left. What sort of time limit do these guys have on this final stage?
It's getting close to it right now. You can actually do, like, the fastest I've seen this objective done is 51 seconds, and that was, I believe, by PKD in a cup. So they've still got a chance. Obviously, every little helps, but they really need to kind of wipe this in the next spawn now and actually hold in this position as well for the deliver and then pick up the second one straight away. It's not looking good, but I think that the first two objectives were decent times. I do feel like maybe we may actually see a full hold on the second objective on the next half, but we'll see.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, guys at home, splash damage is going to be on match point here. If they win this one overall, they will actually win this show match. So this means a lot to these guys. Jumbo's going to make a quick play again towards the objective. None of it's coming through. So really, this is do or die time for Nexon. They so desperately need a time set here.
Wait. Can I try a pun? I know that a lot of casters had to try it.
Go ahead, yep.
It looks like Jumbo's jumbled up his key because he didn't actually grab the objective. How was that? Was that okay?
We're going to end the cast.
We need to take a second to really appreciate what you just did.
Okay.
Moment of silence for Pixel. And it will be a moment of silence very soon for Nick. Just the tumbleweed just kind of flying through. Awful, guys, awful. Oh, Lord. Anyway, Nexon are down to 40 seconds now to get this one done. And even chat is a little disappointed in you. They're like, oh, no.
I tried my best, guys. Give me a chance. I
tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, the turret is doing the work. And look at this again. The turret just is running them down. Calendar doesn't even need to play. He just needs to put his turret into place and he'll do the job. Psychosis and Krillix are the last two alive. I don't think they're going to be able to get this one done in time. 20 seconds left. And well, I think we know that Splash Damage have done very well here to get the last stage to pull off the full hold here at the end. I think they're pleased with that, and you can imagine press F to pay respect is now thoroughly in chat for you. Don't worry, Pixel, you've certainly done well there. But now we've got to look at it this way. It's all down to Splash Damage on the attack and whether Nexon can hold them back.
I think it's possible. I really do think it's possible, to be honest. I mean, we're talking around a 9 minutes and 20 seconds that they have to actually complete the second objective. So if Splash Damage complete the second objective within that time, they will actually just win outright. So Nexon, all they need to do is really just try and slow them down as much as possible and really hope for that full hold on the second objective right now. Or they need to make them do it slower than what they did and then full hold on the final objectives, kind of like what Splash Damage did to them. It's going to be hard, right? It's definitely going to be difficult. So they just really need to make sure that they're going to be keeping them comms on point. I mean, we saw how well they played as a team on Whitechapel on the offense and defense. So I think it's certainly possible. But yeah, we're seeing 3 engineers coming out for SD. I can sense it already. They're gonna bum rush that EV. They're
piling it. Yep.
They're gonna just dive in and just hold F and hope.
Alrighty, guys, this could be the final half here if Splash Damage pick this one up. Guys in chat, get hyped, get ready. We are seeing a lot of those engineers coming out to play from Splash Damage. They'll be on the attack. Up against them will be Nexon, desperate to slow this one down. They have to put everything into place here. They cannot allow this one to go quickly. This has to be such a strong bit of play. And here we go. Let's find out how this one goes. We are live into it. Chef going to pick up the first.
It seems like we may have a fluffy Gimp AFK.
Dear Lord, can we... Fluffy Gimp, if your team loses, it's your fault. Alright guys, just letting you guys know, if Splash Damage do not win this now, we can all blame Fluffy Gimp.
Oh, he's back, he's back, he's back, he's crouching, he's lost.
Oh, no, he's not sure what's happening. he's finally worked out what game he's in. He threw his Quake, through his ET. No, we are here, we are playing Dirty Bomb. And we are live into this. Fluffy Gimp going to be coming out and trying to do some damage here with Shu. The Dastardly duo going to be jumping in. And actually, Fluffy Gimp's got pretty damn far here as an engineer. And really, he could do a little bit of a sneaky repair, and great little shot towards Jumbles. That gave him some grief, but he's doing wonderfully with the Blishlock. Apparently that gun can actually do damage. Not too sure about this. Here we go. Again, the turret comes out to play. The turret is doing damage. He was AFK at the start. He finally gets put down, but he was doing some real work, surprisingly.
AFK or changing seats? I'm joking.
Uh-oh, it's all coming out now. Kalida's going to go down eventually as well. And it looks like so far, Nexon are doing okay. They're holding him off. They're withstanding. But it feels like it's on a very, very slim sort of edge. Shu will be the last one who's kind of pushed up to go down. And once again, Fluffy Gimp not finding his keyboard. He's kind of lost the W key. He's a little bit old these days. You know, he can't really see that far. So it does get quite difficult for him. And maybe just thinks Nexon needs some help.
So right now, though, Nexon are actually a fair bit in the lead on the defense because Nexon at this point in time, 2 minutes in, had around 50% repair on that EV already, and it doesn't look like SD have even tapped it at all. So it's definitely not looking good for them. I think maybe they just need to all pile on and hope for it. And it looks like Fluffy Gimp's killed himself. That sounds so right. I mean,
I know
in-game,
I was really mean, but geez, he needs to, you know, calm down a little bit here. I'm kind of worried. But maybe he was changing class? No, just not sure what his keyboard is going on right now. He's lost, you know, some vision. He's having a little bit of a senior moment. Hopefully he, you know, sorts himself out here and, you know, pray for Fluffy Gimp, guys, in chat, because he is really struggling right now. Is he back up and with us? He is, bless him. He's back. Don't worry. He's sat down now. He feels much more comfortable. These young whippersnappers were getting in his way, but he can now just kind of sit around with his turret and have a great time. But still, as you said, Nexon have done pretty damn impressively at this point. They're holding it well. They've been able to stop that EV from even getting touched. So, at the moment, they're not too worried.
I'm actually just going to point out something that I find hilarious right now. So Jumbles is using the Hotfire SMG, which is the SMG
I love the
for proxy.
Hotfire.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
But he's changed his act right now. But what he was doing is he was running around with the SMG out, and then when he saw a player, he was switching to his bat and then chasing them. When you always run faster with your bat. So if anybody's watching this and wonder what he's doing, he's doing it wrong.
Yeah, a little bit backwards on that one. Maybe, you know, not quite sure of, you know, how it's going, but hopefully he can work it out. And actually, next one down to 3 players here. We're seeing a good bit of a start from Splash Damage now, starting to build up some kills and some gibs, but they're also getting... No, it wasn't a full spawn, actually. Kalida does make it back, but I don't know what's going on with Splash Damage here. They've lost a lot of that bite to their bark that the one only Shu was talking about so much.
Yeah, David just managed to get a third chunk of that done on his own as the sniper just sat right in front of it with players jumping around him. Fluffy Gimp's going to be running in again soon. So I think Fluffy Gimp's the actually only engineer which is currently up on this SD lineup right now, and I think that's a great mistake. I mean, Fluffy Gimp's been having a few issues. His aim's not quite on point, and he's definitely not one of the fastest players to get into the objective. So I don't know. I really think that he could do with another engineer right now.
Wow, that's some flame there. I didn't even mention how poor his aim was, but you know, that's just rude. Hey, I just said he was old. You know, that's.
And he couldn't find the W key. That he couldn't find. Don't start with me right now, Pansy love. You said it, not me.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble, guys. I think I need to vacate, you know, Mumble pretty soon. Someone please send help. But we are, as you said, seeing Splash Damage being slowed down here, not really playing as that collective unit. Maybe the call for Tumik will eventually come through. You know, so far he's only been a warrior in Twitch chat this evening, but maybe he can make it to the server. Kalida and BCOG, the last two signing, and actually, Kalida's in a good position here. He could do a little bit of work around the back. He's got a good chance here. Krillix is in front, but they will spot him out. He does get one, but he will be exchanged. So, I've got to say, Splash Damage, I'm not impressed.
No, I had a feeling that this was going to be the case, like I mentioned earlier on. It just feels like when it's these big, wide open maps with lots of kind of teamwork required, SD seem to really be struggling, and Nexon seem to really be shining in these situations as well. So, it's not looking good. I did say, like, I do think maybe we are going to see a full hold on the second objective. I think that Nexon are going to be able to take this unless Splash Damage really pull the finger out and actually manage to make it work soon.
And I wouldn't be against going to a final map, do not get me wrong. I'd hate to see it over a little prematurely. But we're going to see these kills coming in every now and then. We're seeing a nice little push-up from Nexon, who are doing wonderfully on the defensive side. And guys at home, of course, your thoughts, your favourite burn from today, maybe. Let us know on Twitter, #PlayDirty, and we'll check it out, see what you guys have been saying after this game. And so far, it looks like the Nexon show, they're back in business. Their defensive sides have been so impressive in comparison to Splash Damage's attack. I've always been surprised when they actually set fast times here, Splash Damage. It feels like it's more been mistakes from Nexon than actually Splash Damage doing well.
Oh yeah, definitely. On both Victoria and Underground, he was definitely taking full advantage of that momentum you can get off the first objectives. I mean, even on Underground, it didn't work out perfectly, but there was always this kind of being able to grind Nexon down a little bit. But right now, it's definitely just Nexon just playing completely solid. It feels like SD just don't have this kind of objective mindset right now. They just really need to commit to just not shooting at all at this point. I think it's gone past that point of being able to clear the point. I mean, yeah, sure, they could do it, but I think it'd be faster at this point just to run in and just all dive onto the EV and try and repair as much as they can for a few spawns and actually have it done at this point.
Yep, and I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Nice work on Twitter, by the way, guys. I love the nice bits of paint artwork coming through that you guys have been putting out there with the #PlayDirty. I'm sure you guys will be seeing that on stream at some point, or rewarded maybe with some goodies. And of course, you guys at home, get those predictions through to us. Let us know who you think is going to pick up maybe this map, maybe the final. We never know, because Splash Damage seem to forget how to play games every now and then, and suddenly they remember how it works. The Chef picks up the double. And wait, is Dave on the objective here? Oh my god, he is. Dave. Ninja Dave around the backside. And they've got the Jumbles! What are you doing? Please stop playing with my heart like that. Jumbles is like that guy. He's the sniper in a, in a stopwatch game. He's the guy running around with the, the knife out. But there we go. The EV is up and running. Splash Damage finally remembering they were on the attack.
Now, what's really important right now is that Nexon actually decided to get that objective repaired, the second objective, the generator, and actually start going for a hold and try and slow this down as much as possible. Have we seen... We've got Red Rodo with the Skyhammer, which may decide to go for a very early stop. Looks like he's getting ready for it.
Yeah, he's putting down the strike. No, he didn't, did he? He
completely fluffed it. Look at the state.
Oh my god. Someone send help, please. This is not what we need to see here. Nexon, though, they're holding very aggressively. Now, we saw Splash Damage falling back a little sooner. Could this really cost Nexon a little bit of time, maybe building that barrier? They're still not up.
Yeah, I think it could do. We've actually got Calendar, who's been waiting in this barrier room for absolutely ages at this point. He's just like all by himself. There's just nobody there trying to contest him. So right now, SD are a player down at spawn, but I suppose at the same time, it doesn't really make much of a difference because Nexon have got massive runs to get towards that EV. And oh, are we actually going to see a repair?
I'm hoping so. Chefs is in there. He's trying to help out. He's trying to get past what really the turrets are doing, but the double turret, the combo, it damn hurts and shoot nades himself. What a wonderful display of skill from Splash Damage. The nerves are clearly kicking in here, I think we can say, from Splash Damage. They're looking a little shaky.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. But right now, like, the barricade's not going to go up in time, unless it's a perfect airstrike, which looks like it could be.
Oh, that's phenomenal. It does stop the EV running.
But there's nothing there to follow it up. The repair is going to come straight out from Dave, and it's going to be up again within a few seconds. And it doesn't look like this barricade is going to be repaired. And this is looking really bad for Nexon now. After doing a really great hold on the first objective, it looks like they may be able to lose this one in record time. It doesn't look like they've done it slow enough to actually lose out on time on the second objective. SD is still going to have to capture some of those.
Complete, yeah. At least one, I believe. What rule set are we going by here? How many would they have to complete? Explain it for the people at home how this works. I
can't explain it, unfortunately.
It's difficult, isn't it?
It's the way that Splash Damage have done the maps, is the objectives seem to be programmed directly into each of the ones, so it does change every now and again. I think the current rule set is if you actually collect one of the objectives and the other team doesn't, then you will actually get the win. But that's not always the case. It depends patch to patch at this point, unfortunately.
Well, hopefully we can get some clarification when we get a second of respite, but it does look as though the EV will be finding its place fairly unscathed, and they'll be around, what, let's say, oh, actually, tell a lie, 2 airstrikes coming in, and and the fire is going to rain from above. Fluffy Gimp may be in trouble here. He does finally back up, and the EV will be held in place, and he didn't quite back up far enough. Still
gets eaten, but Dave is on it. It doesn't look like they're actually going to be able to stop Dave. Jumbles is going for the bats again. I would love to see the stats. I can't wait until the stats are in the game. They are coming. They are confirmed. Because I've got a feeling that we've got Jumbles here today who's probably gone at least 50% melee kills.
He's been playing massively towards that, and Dave will be getting the objective up and running unless Chefs can stop him in the last couple of seconds, and Chefs is doing a good bit of damage towards it. He doesn't manage to give Dave, so BCOG kind of fluffs the revives, gets Fluffy Gimp first and allows, well, at least the repair did come in. It could have been a bit faster, but still, there we go. Splash Damage do finally get the EV into place, and Jumbles, to just round things off at this stage, gonna get the bat out and go for a little bit of a walk.
It was actually great play by Dave to actually stop the repair just before it completed, because he actually heard the airstrike siren coming in and thought, what I'll do is I'll stop it so it doesn't die instantly. Luckily for him anyway, the airstrike did miss, but a lot of players still just go for that repair, and as soon as it's done, it's down again. So it's always worth noting. If you hear that airstrike and you're actually repairing an objective, just chill out a second. Let the airstrike pass and then complete your job.
A little bit of a tip there from the one and only PixelTwitch. Obviously, you do your own sort of stuff as well. We can talk about that at the end of this one if people want to learn some more kind of tips and tricks in this game. But let's find out now with 3 minutes left. Splash Damage still need to secure at least one of these final objectives to stay in this. And here comes Jumbles around the back. If only he had a real gun to use. Oh, wait. But still, Splash Damage getting a little bit caught up here. They don't have the easiest of paths, and, well, everything's staying where it is. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. That's actually a good bit of time here that could be worked with.
It's plenty of time, and right now it doesn't look like Nexon are going for a full objective hold like we saw SD do, so this could actually work out against them right now. There's actually only a couple of people in, but then again,
MVP turret.
Every single
turret.
time.
It's back in a many older game that was made by Splash Damage called Enemy Territory. There was a place on radar, if you're old enough to remember, where you could put a mine right by the objective, and every time people would run into it. And it looks like the fishbowl turrets are a real thing. People just keep running into the same one. And Nexon are making a wonderful stand of this. Fluffy Gimp does get the nade. The nade? The knife even. But still, we are seeing Shu being held up again by MVP turret. And it looks like maybe the time's going to start running out pretty soon.
It only takes 10 seconds to grab that thing and get it back to your objective. It takes a little bit longer than that. Around 20 seconds it'll be a safe time. So it's crazy how much this is down to the wire right now, because all it takes is one snatch and run, and it looks like that might be happening any second now.
They're certainly trying to do it. Calada made a bit of a sneaky play with Dave, but it did get overturned by Jumbles and Critolix there, locking down that final stage pretty darn well. And Nexon looking a little bit more solid. We know they can defend well here. But let's see how long they can hold this. 1 minute, 28 seconds. Keep your eyes on that timer. That is such a huge factor here. And once again, Splash Damage having to respawn. They're pushing it in dribs and drabs, which never goes well. You have to push as a team. You have to play as a collective. And finally, BCOG going to be joining, I think, Fluffy Gimp, making their way around the backside there and looking for maybe another way in. Kinda going to be found as well. And playing on your own doesn't really work in this game, does it?
Oh, not at all. As soon as you're on your own, 2 versus 1, it's such a difficult fight to win. You could have 2 of the weakest mercs in the game versus a full-on assault merc, and you're still more than likely going to go down in a 2v1 situation. So you really want to just stick with your team, make sure you've got them medics on point, and just make sure that you're always within reach of a medic at most times. And as you can see now, we've actually got the Nexon guys getting wiped out by Shu. An excellent grenade.
Shu.
That's it.
Play from Shu. That is absolutely perfect. MVP turret did not save the day, and they are making the run. And I hate to say it, but Shu saved Splash Damage there. He's making the final placement here. Nexon are up, but they do not have time for this. The team kills are coming out. No one's happy about this result, but Splash Damage have done enough, surely, to make this one theirs. And well, you've got to say it. That took some time, but I bet that meant everything with them. And they're even running number 2 right now. They're not done just yet. They're getting it all done. Calada is in the mix still. He's looking for this one. Going to play safe for a second. Let his teams clear
He's only got 4 seconds to transmit.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it. Surely he's going to do it. He's got it. He's got to do this. They can't stop this
Show off.
That is phenomenal.
There we go.
With the MVP plays at the end as well. Going to close this one down. And ladies and gents, it's Splash Damage coming up big in the end. There were issues aplenty. The first map looked appalling for them, but they turned up at the end, and even with Rad Rodo dropping 57 kills,
wow,
couldn't stop them. What a play as well. Credit to Nexon, I think we can both say this. They put up such a hard fight then.
Well, there was literally less than 50 seconds away from going to a final map. That's how close this game was. They managed to get a great hold on the first objective, a decent hold on the second objective. I mean, they had such great holds all the way through. I thought they were going to be able to hold, but that one nade, they made one vital mistake of having two teammates trying to help up one person that was on the ground. The nade came in, give the people that was on the ground and the two people which was trying to get the help up. And that was a prime example of why you don't always want to be too close to your teammates. Get them wiped out and cost them the map and cost them the show match. So well played to SD. Unlucky to Nexon. 50 seconds was in that and it could have been going to a final map. And I think Train Yard may have been the deciding map right there, which could have pointed towards Nexon as well, because it is a very team-placed map.
Could have.
SD just playing it right.
They really did at the end. We do indeed have the one, the only Shu. Welcome.
Hey!
How are you doing, buddy? I heard the nerves and the adrenaline was pumping in that final map, but how are you feeling right now?
Well, the thing is, I can't really be too excited because we all know this was going to happen anyway.
Oh!
Your voice is literally breaking right now. Let's not even try and hide the fact that you're hyped up here.
I'm hyped. I was excited. You know, we laughed. We didn't cry. Well, we cried from laughing. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that. It was a very good game. Well played, Nexon, everyone. Yeah, I think it was very good. Well done, everybody. Good game.
How did the first map go, Shu?
It was, yeah, it was a learning experience. I think it was definitely a learning experience. But from there, we realized that we needed to go from, you know, gas mark 4 to about gas mark 7. So, you know, we heated it up, definitely.
Was there any standout moments for you during this game that made you really have to pick up your personal performance? Did anyone get berated? How did it feel in the splash damage office as this one was going on?
I think the bit where I had to definitely step up was when we had that plant going on underground, and I was at the top there, and I was looking through from the top of the escalator, and I got like 4 kills. The Nexon bodies were just falling on top of the plant. I'm surprised they could even see it. There was so much death.
I counted. There was actually 8 bodies on that plant.
There was so much death, so much passion. It was beautiful. Yeah, I loved that. It was great. It was a beautiful moment in time. I hope everyone makes lots of lovely frag movies about that. I want to see some cracking content that has lots of Shu highlights. Yeah.
Anyone who wants to make Shu missing as well, also valuable content. Shu missed about 20 shots, hit about 5. Important 5 shots, I'll give him.
They were the ones I wanted to hit, though.
Here's my question.
Very modest.
Here's my question. T22 easy. Explain.
T22 easy?
Knees weak, arms are heavy. Just shaking.
I got spaghetti on my spaghetti already. Mum's spaghetti.
I got spaghetti on my spaghetti already. My mum's spaghetti. What?
That's it.
Exactly, yeah. You know it.
Next level
memes
rhymes.
are out already.
You know it. Shu highlights. See, look, the people want Shu highlights. People want Shu highlights.
Well, it'll be a short frag movie, so someone get on that. Anyone out there willing to do so? I'll pay you in, I don't know. The salty tears of the Nexon fans, maybe. You were talking about those salty tears that you were collecting. Do you think, have you got the cups already?
I've got like a side of Nexon tears and a brimming pot of Nexon chef salt ready to go onto my large portion of chips.
Yeah.
Well, Pixel, any final questions towards Shu there?
No, not really at all. All my questions will be very BM, so I won't ask any BM questions.
Oh, come on. This is no professional stream right now. You might as well ask them.
Come on, give it to me, Pixel, you cheeky boy.
You'll never hear that again, so you might as well take the opportunity.
How many team kills did you get, Shu?
I got a lot of team kills. Like, this is probably the first time I've ever actually played it with friendly fire on. Like,
I did mention that in the stream as well.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. I thought friendly fire was going to be off. Otherwise, like, Nexon's team kills were going to be through the roof. So
I've got one question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
If you could cut anyone on your team and get somebody else in, who would you cut?
Oh wow! Careful, Shu. Careful.
I know who we'd cut, but I want to see if he'd say it.
You want me to
Don't say Fluffy Gimp.
I would cut the Fluffy Gimp in a heartbeat.
Oh. You've got to work with him for years now.
Oh.
He's great for morale, but you can do that from behind the desk, you know.
I don't know what you want to do behind the desk, but I think Bcog's actually a mumble as well. I don't think he's moaning at us. He wants to even have a word. Everyone's piling in, you know.
Pull him in.
The Splash Damage get one chance, and they finally get to actually have their say. We'll see if he can get in here. And Bcog, I don't know if I can trust you in this, but Bcog, are you there?
Bcog?
Bcog's dead. He's not able to even afford a mic. He's that poised.
He was near me.
He was near you. He's probably running back to his desk here, shaking. I actually heard in chat he was shaking from that victory. I think he's very quiet, so he might need to be adjusted. I'm not too sure if we can get him on at the moment.
I've just shouted to him.
Perfect. Just shout at him. That may help. And I think we've actually got Chefs here as well. Chefs, buddy, are you with us?
Oh, sorry, he's gone down the salt shop. He ran out. He's getting some more.
Wow.
Oh, I have a Bcog here. I have a Bcog
You have Bcog.
Here you
All
go.
right.
I'm going to give him my headset so you can have a natter.
I have to be completely honest. I kind of wish that maybe SD lost that, because I would love to see what she would have actually come out with if the shoe was on the other foot.
Oh God! Stop with the puns. We tried.
That was not supposed to. That was not supposed to be a pun. That's even worse.
Right. Back on track.
Okay, here we go.
Bcog, how are you doing, buddy? Your hands calm down now?
Yeah, I was shaking at the end there, you know, holding on to my seat.
Were you not holding on to the mouse? I feel that may have been an issue.
No. I wasn't holding on to any mouse. I was playing with my legs. It was absolutely amazing. I mean, it was Beastcog.
Beastcog?
Yes.
Did you give yourself that name, or was that given to you?
No, that was given to me. I think it's well deserved.
So, any sort of closing statement to the adoring fans that you've now gathered, because you had some clutch plays, you know, Bcog. You went, above and beyond. What do you have to say to your adoring fans out there?
Just watch out, you know. PKD,
I'm here now, guys.
All the big teams. You know, if you're looking for somebody, if you're looking for a ringer, if you're looking for a guy, like, I might not be an artist forever. Let's just put it that way.
Oh my God.
Especially with the work you've been bringing recently towards Splash Damage. But let's talk to someone who actually made an impact into a game. Chefs, how you feeling, buddy? Because you pulled off some great plays, man. I've got to say it, but sadly, you did lose out in the end.
Yeah, I tried hard. No, it was a really good game. On my side, the team was communicating a lot. When we started getting stomped, that's when we stopped talking, and then once we started talking again, we did better. So it was good. It's nice to hear Splash Damage has a little bit of humility, especially Shu. I'd love to stick a dirty sock in his mouth right now.
He might like that. You got to be careful with that, man.
No, it was a really fun match. Every time a round ended, I tried to jump in the stream and listen to what you guys were saying. So it was awesome to hear Pixel say how bad I was, but how good I was playing today. That was such a great compliment.
So I have a question for you.
Oh, here we go. We got a question coming in.
How much have you been practicing lately for this?
Honestly, every opportunity I get, but it's literally only like 2 or 3 matches in a day, and I've been playing a little bit with Pixel. I've been playing a lot with the ZFC guys in competitive matches, just trying to. For me, it's just getting my muscle memory back. I was off the PC platform for so long that now I'm just starting to relearn what I used to know, and I don't know. Hopefully, it showed today. I had a lot of fun. It was a blast.
How much did those lessons cost, by the way?
They were free, buddy. They were free.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if you could get refunded for them.
Where's the mute button? Can we just get rid of him? My God.
Well, I'm pretty sure Fluffy Gim's going to fire him soon, so you won't have to worry about that. He's already out of the door. His stuff's being packed into a small box. He's being escorted out. Don't worry.
All right, good.
But one
go
quick thing
bugs.
then, Chefs. One quick thing. One thing. That first map, you guys looked phenomenal. You guys set a blistering time. You ripped apart the opponents. What happened on the rest there?
Which map was that? Was that Chapel?
Chapel.
Yep.
Chapel, you were absolutely insane on.
So yeah, I mean, we were playing pretty well on Chapel. I think I was doing pretty all right as well. I actually had a decent KD for once. But I think after that is basically Splash Damage got their shit together, and it made it a lot harder. They were kind of disorganized like we were later in the game from the onset. But once they got the teamwork going and they figured out classes, it posed a big challenge, especially on the ladder maps when they started just stacking bushwhackers everywhere. Good. It sucked.
Yeah, they should probably fix that. That turret seemed pretty powerful. I'm just gonna say, these bug, flame shots being thrown everywhere. Oh yeah, so tell that to Calendar's turret. I don't know what he put in that, but that thing's spitting fire. So I'm not too sure on that one. Pixel, any final questions to Chefs there?
So who are you going to be letting go? I'm joking. No.
Unfortunately, I don't have a wealth of talent on this end like they do over at Splash Damage, so I don't have a Tumic or a Matt Lowe sitting around. If I were to let someone go, probably be myself because I have about 800 emails I need to look at.
I'm only joking. No, I think you played really well, to be honest. I honestly do. Like, you know yourself, you was like 10 seconds away. Like, you wasn't. It was 50 seconds away from actually being able to go to a final map.
I was screaming, stop rezzing me, stop rezzing me, only one person. And we had 2 people fanning the fire right there trying to pick me up whilst there was another medic just across the room that we could have picked up as well. So it was a great nade. I would have loved to have seen a 5th map, especially Train Yard, since I think that's one of the best that we have.
I think it probably is as well,
Yeah. So, oh well. I mean, we had a lot of people watch. I think everyone had fun. So we'll do this again.
You down for a rematch?
I'm always down for a rematch, for sure.
That's
I think
good.
we should do Dirty Cups versus Nexon.
No.
We would get stomped. We would get destroyed. It wouldn't even
People
be...
would finally see how bad Owen is, which is always a real problem to have.
Oh,
We can't. That's why he spectates. He's not actually allowed to play. But regardless, I think we should leave this one where it is. So once again, congratulations to Splash Damage. I don't want to talk to Shu again because his arrogance is unreal.
That's a lot. I am the most
God, he's still
humble
here.
person that
Please
you
take
will
him
ever
away.
meet.
Please just stop him. But still, congratulations to Splash Damage. You guys did wonderfully. Nexon, you put up a stunning fight, and I can't wait to see what you guys can bring if there is a rematch. I really do want there to be one at some point, and I'd love to be part of it. But once again, guys, out there at home, thank you for watching this. It's been absolutely incredible. It's been damn good fun. And of course, guys, if you already have the game, you play this, or if you just like what you've seen, do make sure you get onto Steam right now. Head over to that page, leave a review letting the world know exactly what you think about Dirty Bomb. And hell, even put in there that Shu told you to do it. You can do that. It's perfectly fine. And of course, this whole event was hosted kindly by dirtycups.gg. Make sure you check them out on all of the social media platforms. Head over to their site. And of course, if you want some actual top tier action in Dirty Bomb, just keep yourself tuned to dirtycups.gg, the site itself, because in early July, I believe there will actually be some more possible upcoming events. So there's a lot on the line here, guys. And of course, if that doesn't apply to you and you want to support directly what Dirty Cups is doing, make sure you subscribe. You can always donate here on Twitch, just down below. Make sure you hit that follow button as well. Every time there's content in competitive Dirty Bomb, it'll be on this channel. So this will be my closing statement. So Pixel, anything you want to end on?
No, just thank you for everybody coming out, and thanks for the good games from Nexon and Splash Damage. Thanks to Dirty Cups and everything else. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I hope that we do some more silly little things like this in future.
Don't talk about Shu like that. Anyway, we're going to be closing the show out. So guys, hopefully you've had fun. Make sure you follow, as I said, in all of the available ways, and we'll catch you next time.
Stay fresh.
Bye.
Jesus.
That blew my ears out.
Oh my god.
How are you still giggling?
You're dead to me. He's so shit.
Jesus.
Oh.